3, 2, 1, and we're live. I just like doing it. I like doing the countdown. It has a finality about it. Welcome back to the Invictus stream. My name is Harlan. I'm here with my very attractive friend Chris.
Hello.
There you go, you attractive bastard, you.
Thank you.
And this is our Wednesday night role-playing session, which for the past month or more has been dedicated to Dragon Age. However, because Mike could not be here with us tonight, we are going to switch it up a little bit and do the end of the world zombie apocalypse. This is a game.
Come.
Yeah, it's about time. Finally, I want to kill some zombies.
2, 1.
Oh, look at that! I'm muting myself. So this is what happens. I listen to the live stream alongside, and I get to hear myself talk because I love my own voice. Anyway, this is a game that was published by Fantasy Flight Games. They're releasing in 4 installments. The first one's Zombie. I think the next one's Wrath of the Gods.
Is this a Kickstarter?
No, this was Fantasy Flight, and actually, I think it was originally like a Spanish game. Or something like that. I don't know. It had some sort of translation because I know there's still a few spelling mistakes. But it's four versions. So if this goes well, and we played one before, and it was interesting. But anyway, so normally Wednesday nights we've been doing Dragon Age. So tonight we're going to do a one-shot using this system with Chris and Justin and myself GMing. And then next week we're going to go right back to Dragon Age to continue the story of our band of not really brothers because we don't really like each other.
Well, I don't know. My character likes you.
I don't like
anyways,
you.
We'll leave that for another Wednesday.
We'll get back to our band of merry, non-merry men next week. So again, next week, 8 o'clock, Dragon Age will be back. But feel free to stick around and watch us tonight because we are going to be doing a little bit about this. Now, we have played one game before, obviously not on stream. And Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about how that game went?
Absolutely. And I think last time it was the same party or similar members. We played with 4 people, and it was actually, we did it on a tabletop. We didn't do it on computer over webcams, so a different dynamic in that, but it was really enjoyable. The nice thing about it is it's very, very simple. You don't have to, it doesn't take a lot to figure out how the game works, and as I imagine for a GM, because Harlan did GM last time, but it seems very simple. Very, very easy to, you just kind of go with it, you come up with the scenarios, because it's real life scenarios. It's not done in a fantasy world, it's done in the real planet Earth, wherever you're living, whatever's going on, and the characters are, you're actually playing yourself. So it's kind of a neat dynamic in that way. You don't have to come up with some fantasy character, it's really your personality traits define how you're going to play your character. So role-playing is really easy.
Yeah, which is good, but then again, it also makes you feel very weak because as we rolled up characters last time, I remember rolling my own character and being like, oh yeah, you know, my skills will be like, you know, I'm a crack shot or something like that, even though I have no idea. But then you have to have a positive and a negative for every one of your stats.
Yeah.
So you also have to
kind of look at yourself in a different light. You kind of you can't just be this hero. You have a lot of flaws, real life flaws that you have to deal with, and it makes you have to share a lot with the rest of the party.
It does. There's actually a part where it says you are meant to record your traumas, so like things that have happened in your life. And there's like a bold text that says, "Look, don't feel free to keep some things private." Imagine some people playing this and then it just going into like a crying session where some girl is talking about how she lost her mother to like.
Yeah, Michael's my uncle, and it's like, when I was young, I was touched by my uncle, and it
just gets really awkward and quiet at the table, and everyone's looking around like, well, I guess add that to a negative feature?
Yeah.
Well, that's a positive feature for you, but a negative feature for Mike. Anyway, so we have, I used Chris's character sheet from last time, and to give you an example, but what we're going to do is, because Justin's going to be joining us around 8:30, a little bit after, so in the meantime I was just going to go over the way that the dice system works real quick, and then we're going to roll up Justin so you can see how that works. So if you're looking to get into the gameplay and hear some zombies and stuff like that, you know, check us out in half an hour, or if you want to know a little bit about it, we're going to do that right now. So
yeah, it's a really cool system for creating the characters, so it's worth sticking around for, actually.
Yeah, and the thing I really like about it, again, so I'm going to show you Chris's sheet. Again, we have the characteristics that you have to have. So again, every category is broken down to physical, mental, and social, and each one needs a positive and a negative feature. So again, when we looked at Chris's sheet, he had the negative feature I think he had for for his dexterity, sorry, his physical, is he has a weak stomach.
Yeah.
When it comes to zombies, that's going to be very helpful because a lot of vomiting and things like that. Your positive and negative features for your mental is your negative is you have trouble sleeping, but you are courageous.
And these are, yeah, it's true. It's true.
And then the last one, you are easily offended, short-tempered, but you are compassionate. Although some can see that as a negative too.
I get really mad at you, and then I understand why you did it.
How dare you do this? But I completely sympathize.
I get it.
I'm passionate about it.
But I'm going to kill you.
So the way the character creation works is you start out all these categories with a 1, and I'll screen share the.
I can do it for you. I'll screen share it.
Oh, perfect. So you start out all the categories with 1, and then you kind of add depending on what you feel is perfect. There we go. So you add depending on what you're looking at. So again, this was Chris's sheet that we rolled up last time and just used it this time. You see he's got a 3 in dexterity, a 3 in vitality, a 3 in logic, 3 in willpower, 2 in charisma, but a 4 in empathy. Dude has a lot of charisma, or a lot of empathy. Sorry.
That's right.
Scroll down a little bit because then we'll go through the strains and stuff. So the way that this game measures damage and stuff like that is stress and resistance, and it's kind of cool. Every time you get a negative die, and again, I'll show you how the die rolls go, but every time you get a negative die, you build up stress and resistance. The thing I really like about this is, with games like Call of Cthulhu, you end up, like you'll see like a horrible thing, and you have to roll for sanity every time, and slowly your sanity starts slipping away. But the one thing they don't really account for is
getting used to things.
Well, that's the thing. So a tentacle comes out of the water and it latches onto your leg. Yeah, of course you're going to be scared shitless and you're going to lose sanity.
The first time.
The first time, but by the time, if that's done that 5 times, then there's no real need you should still be losing sanity. So what this does is it builds up resistance based on what you've done and what you've seen. So for example, the first 3 times you might see a zombie eating another flesh, you might be scared, you might get stressed, and you might have to check off those boxes. But eventually, seeing zombies eating people is not going to faze you anymore.
Well, just to play the devil's advocate, though, on the other way, it almost seems like you could be, punched, because a punch isn't going to kill you by itself.
True.
So does that mean you could just be punched infinite amount of times and not die?
Well, and then I guess that's where the rolls come in, probably, where like the higher rolls, the more successes. But that's a good point. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so those are the numbers, and we're going to roll up. You can take that down now if you want, Chris.
Sure.
And then I will show you how the die system works. So normally, and it's similar to the other Fantasy Flight system for Star Wars, except you use D6s on this one. So basically, you create a positive dice pool and a negative dice pool using D6s. So, for example, if you were to be picking a lock or something, now no one here has a bonus to picking lock. They don't have that under any of their skills because none of us can actually pick locks, which is probably a bad thing. We should definitely figure out how to do that in case
I think Justin can.
Well, then maybe we should definitely add that to his features.
Yeah.
Because it might be.
I remember one time, he did work at learning how to do it. I don't know if he was successful.
That's just cliche all over it. But anyway, of course he learned to pick a lock. No. Basically, you'd assemble your positive dice pool. So let's say you're picking a lock. You would roll 1 die always for whatever skill you're doing. So in this case, it'd probably be something like dexterity. So you would add 1. Not the number 1, that just ended up being number 1, but you would add 1 die. Then you would add another die for, say, whatever bonus feature might be in the area. Let's say you're not particularly stressed. There's no zombies running in on you, so you're okay. So I'd say add another die. And let's say then Chris is helping out Justin and he hands him a piece of wire to help him out. So let's say it's a total of 3 die. In this system, or using Hangouts, what we're going to do is we're going to then circle them just so we remember which one the positive die. So that's your positive die pool. Then I'm going to ask them to roll the negative die. So, okay, we're going to say it's 1 die because it's a difficult task, obviously. And I'm going to add another die because this is an example and I can't think of anything. So let's pretend it's that.
It's a heavy-duty lock.
What's that?
The heavy-duty lock.
Exactly. It's a really heavy-duty lock. It's a racist lock. So then what we're going to do is you eliminate doubles. So we have our positive die pool, which is 1, 4, 1, and the negative die pool, which is 4, 6. We're going to we're going to get rid of the duplicates, which would be the 4 and the 4. leaving us with a 1, and then a -6. Now, all you have to do is get the positive die under your numbers. So if Chris was rolling this, his dexterity is 3, meaning he has 2 successes because he rolled a 1 twice. Now, because he got a 6 in the negative that didn't get canceled out, he's still going to get a negative, and that would be something that would add to your stress. And it can be thematic, like if you're like, oh, like again, I'm going to leave it up to you guys because you guys are good at this. So if you say whatever you do,
for example, he slips and he cuts his hand a little bit on the lockpick.
Perfect. Perfect example. So that would be your negative. You get a little stress for that. You get 1 little tick, but you'd still get 2 successes, which means you would move on and succeed. In this case, because you got 2 successes, maybe I would cancel them out and say, yeah, you know what, don't worry about it because you succeeded very much. But that's a little bit about how the dice system works. So that's the dice. These are the character sheets. So now what we want to do before Justin joins us is roll up his character. So I will screen share this. What's that?
It's fun for rolling a character for a friend because it all depends on how well you know the friend.
Yeah, because it's Justin, I feel like we can get away with it.
I agree. We rolled our own characters, but we're gonna try to see what we think of Justin.
He's gonna watch this later and just start crying. What? Okay, so everyone starts with a 1 in each category, and we have 10 points to distribute. So what do you think his dexterity would be?
He's okay. Well, again, his dexterity is pretty. I don't know. He's good at piano. He's a piano player, so I mean his finger dexterity must be pretty good. So small motor skills will be good. So
that's true. I didn't think about that.
He's a very tall person, and I know that can get in the way sometimes.
You're right, but you know what? The piano is a good point, and I would say based on that,
dexterity is higher than vitality.
Agreed. Why don't we do that 4 then?
Yeah, and we'll put vitality lower. Let's put it at 2 for now.
Yeah, I agree. Because what's vitality? Vitality is really just
vitality is how long, how well, if you get sick a lot and that type of thing.
Well, each of these stats has a positive, or sorry, not a positive, but has an an offensive and a defensive. So under the physical tree, dexterity is the offensive and vitality is the defensive. So, and again, I can read it right here. So vitality is your physical strength, and toughness, it determines elements of your character ranging from how much weight you can lift to how well you resist disease and toxins. So yeah, I'd say 2 is probably fair for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
He might not, but well, that's okay. So then let's go on to, well, let's do the numbers first, actually. We might have to change them. So that's fine. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 6 points left.
Didn't we use 6? Oh, yeah, because it started at 1.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
All right, so what do we got for Justin's logic and willpower?
So again, I'm going to put willpower as less capable than his logic.
You think?
I'd say they're pretty even, to tell you the truth.
I would say maybe 3-3.
Yeah, let's do that.
But how many does that leave us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It only leaves us 2 points.
Okay, let's go to empathy and charisma first, then.
I would say charisma is going to be high.
I agree in the sense that people do like him.
That's my thinking. He's a charismatic mofo. Let's be honest.
That's true.
That would leave everything else pretty low because that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That leaves 3 points, meaning everything else is going to be a 2.
Let's do that then.
Well, we could also leave something at 1. We could really lower his willpower, which actually would be pretty fair.
I agree, because he does have a tendency to get addicted to things.
So let's leave that at 1, and that leaves us still 3 points. So we can put one of these up to 2. And I'd say empathy would probably be up to 3, eh?
Yep.
And then that. So there. So let's see. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go.
Perfect.
10 points for Justin.
Until we adjust them.
Until he comes back and says, "What the fuck, guys?" Okay, so now we need a positive and a negative characteristic for our good old pal. Let's remind viewers at home that we do love this man, and he is not he is not our enemy.
And by viewers, you mean Justin, if you're watching this.
Yeah, Justin will be watching this. So we were talking a little bit about this before the break, and or not before the break, sorry, before we were
live.
Before we were live, and one of the things that we both agreed that Justin's positive feature would be that because he is a piano player, he's very nimble. Agreed?
Agreed.
Justin, if you're watching, we think you're a nimble guy. But in that same category, we think he's relatively uncoordinated. But, well, is that fair? I don't know. What do you think?
I think he's not. It's almost like cumbersome in some ways. Does that even make sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, because, it's like...
Lurching.
Yeah, like unmaneuverable.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of... And the problem is, like, uncoordinated... See, because it takes a lot of coordination to play piano really well.
And he's fairly coordinated in the most part, but... Yeah, let's say... Is there a better word for... Not lurching sounds terrible.
Lurching. Let's just call him Lurch. And that being said, I forgot to mention that we are on Twitter. We are at Invictus Stream. So throughout this entire thing, if anyone has any ideas and they want to throw them out there, for the people who might know Justin, might not know Justin, maybe you just want to make it difficult for
them. Have a better vocabulary than we have.
Or just have a better, just have a synonym for what we're trying to look for. Feel free to tweet us. Again, we're at Invictus Stream, INVICTUS. STREAM. And, just gotta make sure I'm spelling it. Yeah, okay. So feel free to tweet us, and if these guys are smart, they'll be watching the stream throughout the entire game for suggestions. So if they're walking past the hall and you hear a sound,
and if you want to,
what?
Let's say clumsy. Does that work?
Clumsy works. Yeah, you know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
If you're one of those people that likes watching, I spelled it wrong. If you're one of those people that hates watching horror movies because you love yelling.
Don't look under the...
Don't go in there, don't go in there! The Twitter feed is the perfect thing for that. You can beat these guys and be like, okay, we're gonna go in the room. You get to he's like, don't go in there, you fucking idiot. So I'll be watching them and I'll be telling them. Someone says on Twitter not to be doing this. Oh, that being said, I did ask for the viewers who might be watching from Reddit, I did do a post today for some ideas about what can make this game really interesting, and I got a bunch of really great ideas, some of which I'm incorporating, some of which I'm kind of changing a little bit, but I want to do a nice little shout out to K. Bergster for giving me a plethora of ideas that I'm going to be using. I like a lot of them, so if you want spoilers, I shouldn't say this because then what's going to happen is they're going to go on Reddit and try to fucking find it and be like, what is he going to do? That's what he's going to throw at us? So I want to thank him or her for a cool idea. Also, the other person who I took a few ideas from is Mama TR. So thank you both for your helpful ideas. And if you have any more, I'll probably be watching Reddit throughout this thing. So if you are watching and you have some ideas as we're doing it, throw them at me or tweet me. I'll be looking at them. Send me direct messages, actually, if it's like something that you want me to fuck them over. Because if you live tweet and they read it, they're like, no, don't do that. Unless it's just really good and we can do it anyway. Anyway, so we got nimble and clumsy, which I'm sure I spelled incorrectly.
That sounds like such a contradiction.
Yeah, no, because nimble is like coordinate, or nimble is not coordinated. Is it?
How about we have finger like small. You can't say dexterous and dexterity.
No, you can't. No, nimble makes sense, and clumsy is not the opposite of that. So he's nimble because he's nimble, but he's clumsy.
How about good with his hands, but clumsy?
Bad with his feet.
I already wrote down nimble, so let's keep nimble. And let's go with so he's very nimble, but he is. Let's just go with what we originally had. Uncoordinated.
Okay.
No?
Yep.
Good. Okay. So that is his feature for the physical. Now we have a positive and negative feature for his mental state. And I'll screen share this so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just embarrassed for the spelling mistakes, but frankly, I don't really give a shit right now. So his mental. Positive. Oops. Now, we were thinking that we didn't have one yet.
What about confident?
Confident mental? Or would that be social?
Yeah, that's true. He's more confident socially.
We did think of a negative, although it's not really fair, but...
Yeah.
But it's specific. The guy's not a druggie, but in, like, games. He does love his games.
And so this whole stream is actually enabling him.
Yeah, we're enablers. Okay, so what would be a mental...
Positive
that
quick learner?
What's that?
Quick learner?
He's a very quick learner, that's true. Yeah. You know what? That's a good one. Because you know what? That could totally come in handy in the end of the world. Right? It's like if you have to learn how to fire a gun or something.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And what do we have for this? Now Justin is for those who don't watch, he is the main DM, or the GM, sorry, for our Dragon Age game, which is here every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So I think it's pretty obvious that he is a likable cat. Do you disagree with that?
No. Yes, I don't like him.
Well, you're his friend. You can't like him.
That's right.
And so what would be a negative social thing for him, you think? What would be something that socially he...
He's not good at talking to women.
He's... Nah, yeah, you're right.
Let's say... that's not true either.
It's doing this... Doing a character creation for someone who's not here is basically like... What does it feel like? What's that?
It's like judgmental. We have to judge him.
It does. It feels like gossip.
What's your worst flaw?
Yeah. So here's my suggestion for those who want to play this and are playing at home: do it when they're not there, because it's so fun. You can be like, "Yo, what do I like about them?"
And then post it on the internet for everyone to see.
Yeah, and let everyone see your friends judging you. God, could you imagine how harsh that would be? I really kind of hope. Okay, we gotta start being. Well, not that we're not nice, because all these look. Justin, we love you.
This is the final broadcast of...
Yeah, this is at the end of the stream. No, but Justin, we love you. This is just none of these they're
exaggerated.
Yeah, they're the fictionalized version of yourself. There's nothing true to it.
Caricature, really.
Exactly. So then for the negative features, maybe craves approval.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
Yeah, okay, we can say wants to be liked. That sounds better.
Well, but doesn't that, okay? If his positive characteristic is that he's likable, and then his negative characteristic is that he wants to be liked, don't they just kind of?
It works so well together.
I was gonna say, right?
Yeah.
So what is Justin's negative social?
Non-partisan, we could say that. Yeah, that one earlier.
How about, you know what? They have examples. We could just pick one.
Sure.
Save his feelings. Okay, so one of the negative social examples are anxiety.
No.
Too honest.
We could do thin skin, kind of like similar with mine. I'm easily offended.
So easily offended?
Yeah, or thin-skinned, or whatever you want to say.
Or there's easily pressured.
That's good.
Because he does seem easily pressured. He never wanted to do a role-playing game on Google Hangouts, and I was like,
he doesn't even want to come tonight.
He doesn't even want to come tonight. He's just coming because I'm forcing him to. So let's do that. Easily pressured.
Because you suggested.
There.
He didn't even want to come. He just suggested it very lightly, and he caved.
Yeah, it wasn't even my A game. My A game is when I'm like, twisting arms to get him there.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. I'll email that to him now. So again, if you're just tuning in, we're just doing a little bit of quick character creation for our friend Justin, who's going to be joining us hopefully momentarily, and then the game is going to be started off. Again, we're playing the End of the World RPG, the Zombie Apocalypse version, which is the first of 4 series of books that Fantasy Flight is releasing.
Is there like a preset game in that book? Did it come with a preset?
See, and that's what's kind of cool about this. So most games have scenarios, right? Like in the back of the book, it'll tell you what to say and what to do. We, at the Invictus stream, I'm including you too, Chris, because you're the same way, we usually like to go off book. We like to write our own stuff and kind of have our own say on what counts and what matters and things like that. So the one thing that people might hate about this, but we personally like, is that it's very open book. The scenarios are not stories. What they are is general backgrounds to a story. So whereas a D&D campaign might be like, okay, this is what you want to do, this is how you want to get there, this is what you know, this is what the players don't know. This game's basically like, look, this is what's happening in the world. Here are some suggestions that might be cool. Do what you want to do.
Which we like.
Which we like, because I'm a big not on rails gamer, and neither are you guys.
Yeah.
We really like to, kind of throw caution to the wind and see what happens, which is why I went on Reddit today and asked for some suggestions. And
it makes it challenging, though. because you have those suggestions, and it's challenging when we throw wrenches into the mix, trying to have something exciting happen if we choose to do nothing.
Exactly, which is always frustrating for the GM when it's like, oh my god, I have the best idea if they walk down these steps. Okay, continue, guys. And then they're like, yeah, fuck it, let's go upstairs. You're like, damn it. But I have a good scenario, so I am excited for what might come. Because we're still waiting on Justin, I will talk about one thing that I'm not crazy about with this system. And I've kind of worked around that in today's adventure, but normally you play yourself in this system, which is really cool. So you get to pick your strengths and weaknesses and your skills, and people vote and tell you what they want, which I like. But one of the problems is replayability. Because the game starts when you're sitting around the table, and last game was to this effect. Basically, we were sitting around, and I said, okay, the game started, and continued on. One of the drawbacks is that every game kind of starts the same way. Every game is going to start around the table, and the problem is, for example, last game we were playing with you, Mike, and my wife, and basically the three of you were like, look, we got to go rescue our families, and then we want to go to the cottage.
Seems safe.
Right? But the problem is, and again, I've kind of fudged the rules a bit to gloss over the start.
Every time, basically.
Exactly, because if we're always starting at the table, then you're going to get the same thing. There's very little variation in the stories so much as what you would do in that scenario. I can throw wrenches and change the path, but ultimately they're always going to still be going for that end goal, because in the first game they figured out, okay, cottage is going to be the best, so every other game they're going to be trying to get that. So I'm going to put on my GM hat and change it a little bit. That's my GM hat.
Ooh.
That's why I put on hat sideways. The GM hat. To kind of tweak a little bit so that we start off in a little more interesting scenario.
Yep. And I think it's you're very capable of that in this. I mean, you could easily just say the highways are so packed. There's so many abandoned vehicles on the highway. It all depends on how you're going to play it.
Exactly, right? You could just be like, but I hate that. I'll be honest. Like, I really hate
playing in a box.
Yeah, it always feels like you're playing in a box. And to me, that's not what role-playing is about. Role-playing is about you saying, look, what's west of here? And then the GM saying, oh, it's, some mountains. And you're like, all right, I'm going to walk that direction.
I'm going to climb the mountains.
Yeah, and then it's on him to figure out, fuck, okay, what's past that? Okay, all right, that's fine. And there's a great episode of Community, the TV show, where Abed makes the D&D world or whatever, and I think it's the second D&D episode, isn't it?
Yeah, is it the Chevy Chase one where he's the bad guy, or is that the first one?
No, yeah, you're right. It's the second one. It's the one with David Tobias.
Yeah.
In the Community episode, and basically, I think Tobias is like, you know what? I'm gonna go east, and then they're like, oh, you didn't prepare, and then Abed pulls out like a binder like this big, and he's like, no, I know where we're going.
Every potential outcome.
Exactly, and to me, that's exactly why role playing is so good.
That being said, that can be very daunting for a GM. It's kind of one of the reasons why I don't often DM, is because I'm like, okay, I want to have everything prepared. I want to have everything ready, and you really can't. And this game actually can take the pressure away. You can be like, I can just roll with the punches a little bit with this game.
It's true, yeah, and that is definitely a draw to it.
Just start playing as opposed to making a binder this big of every idea that could possibly happen.
Exactly, and some GMs aren't good at that, and some GMs are better at that, and I don't think one is better than the other. And I think one thing that I do always find happens when we fall back into that kind of way of doing things is we end up relying on cliches. A big time when we go off book, and you're going to see it tonight in about 10 minutes or 5 minutes rather when we start the game. You're going to see it. You're going to be like, that's exactly out of Dawn of the Dead or something like that. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I know, because realistically that's what's safe and that's what's easy.
Well, we know too. It's all our tropes and mythology of our day, so that's what we're going to use.
Exactly. However, it might end differently. You might be like, oh yeah, Mekhi Phifer had a zombie baby in Dawn of the Dead remake, and he just shot it or something like that. And this one, it's going to be like, maybe the zombie baby's just dead, and it's not actually a zombie baby.
Yeah. What about the ending of this game? We're going to leave that up to mystery? How's that going to end?
Well, I don't know. See, last game, these guys, the end of the world game usually ends with the characters dying, and the last game ended with
Car crash?
Did you tell your wife what happened?
No, I don't. I didn't. I don't know if I want to. Go ahead.
Another game ended in a very grisly death of everybody in the car. They got in a car accident. There was like trees through heads. I think one was just severed and kind of fell back. And
I remember cutting your wife's arm off to get her out of the seat or something like that.
yes,
Dragging her body.
her, screaming while she's like, ah.
Yeah.
That being said, we're going to start the game in about 5 minutes when Justin gets here. It is a zombie-themed game. Again, we're playing the End of the World RPG by Fantasy Flight Games. And it is probably going to get pretty gruesome. We typically play Call of Cthulhu, and when we play Call of Cthulhu, it's no hold bars. We talk about everything. It gets dark. There was an episode, I'm pretty sure, where you guys found like an abandoned fetus or like a half-aborted baby in like the woods.
Yeah, and they were taking like the parts of the bodies to make another monster thing. It was pretty good.
Yeah, so expect a lot of that. I'm not going to rank it 18 plus because I think when you put something 18 plus, you have to log in to view it, and it's stupid. But this is a forewarning that there might be some contextual stuff that might be a little violent. However, for the people who do think that's offensive, it is just a game. There are words written on a paper. There's nothing violent about them.
Just picture them all pink and cuddly. It's in your mind.
Yeah, pink and cuddly like guts and stuff.
And
again, you can live tweet us at the Invictus Stream. Sorry, no, at Invictus Stream. Did I say that last time? I probably fucked that up. It's just at Invictus Stream. So if you have suggestions for the players, don't go in there, that's a bad idea. Then you can tweet us if you're one of the people who contributed over Reddit.
From New York and tweeted.
And you're from New York? Hey, I'm from New York, don't go in there. Feel free to tweet. If you have suggestions for me, you can do the same. Interactivity is one of the fun things. If this game goes well and viewers enjoy it, I'd be happy to invite other people into it in the future. I think one of the great things about role playing is it's the diversity of it, and there's no reason for a game like this, which is a one-shot campaign, basically play till you guys die, that we can't have people from all different colors and creeds play our game.
I agree.
Well said. So again, and our YouTube channel is the Invictus Stream. We have first impressions videos there. We have our role-playing games. Again, for the past month and a bit, we've been playing Dragon Age RPG, so check that out if you'd like. And until then, I've talked about everything I needed to talk about.
This one doesn't use, we're not going to be using a Roll20 like we did the last game with Justin with the different the miniatures.
Correct.
Again, it's kind of done in the theater of the mind.
The theater of the mind. Yeah, there's no need for. I like miniatures, but I would almost rather not use them.
See, yeah, we're different opinions with that because you don't like them at all because you feel it slows it right down.
Yeah,
I like it because it gives some sort of understanding. Because like I can say I run up to a guy and stab him in the face, but in your mind I'm too far away to do that.
True.
It kind of gives a physics to it that you have to follow along. So.
But then you have a lively debate about where you are. I remember one game I played where Justin was DMing. And or GMing, I don't know. And what happened? Oh, it was like we were fighting in the woods, and I was like, yeah, I put my back against a tree, and then we ended up talking for like half an hour about where my back was because
there was no trees. Yeah.
Right? And he was like, nah, there was nothing there. I was like, but I thought there was. But this is what I was picturing. So I agree. But I mean, you're fighting zombies in this. Oh, spoilers! No, you're fighting zombies in this, so it's not going to be like you're going to go for his head and you're going to get it.
It's not going to be like Warm Bodies where we're just going to fall in love with the zombies.
You know what? Maybe it is. Maybe it's going to be a warm body scenario, which was actually a really good movie.
I didn't even give it a chance. I did not give it a chance.
You didn't like it?
I didn't see it.
Oh.
Sorry.
Our makeup was inspired by it for the photo shoot that you were in.
Yeah.
It's sad. It makes me sad.
Mm.
Okay, so Justin texted me a few seconds ago, and he just said he is going to be here shortly. So, until then, we went over the rules. We went over the die system. I'm going to go over the die system one more time because Justin has never played this before. I have the background.
How do you do the damage? How does the damage work? I know you're talking about the stresses.
Yeah, so basically, stress is damage in this game. So the amount of stress you, unless it's incorrect, in which case someone can correct me, but I'm pretty sure, and we're kind of taking a bare bones of this too, for those viewers who might be watching. because there is a fair amount to the game. Like there's traumas that you can inflict. You know, you see your friends die, you're going to build more and more and things like that. Because it's kind of a lot to take in, and because I want this game to be quick and pretty easy and straightforward, I'm not going to be doing a lot. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing an overly in-depth amount of that. What this is going to be a fun story, some fun action, a lot of problem solving from you guys, and see how long you live. Yeah, like trauma. See, there's a whole section for traumas. Equipment will be important. So, and again, I have the details on gear and stuff like that. But because this game is set in real world, it's set now, you're going to have all the numbers you need. So, for instance, if you are needing to call Justin or whatever, you're going to have his number. It's not like you're going to have to try to find it.
Can I ask, are we starting where we are right now? Or are you changing it up? I want to know so badly. Because I can start thinking about what I'm going to do.
But see, then that's no fun, because then you're, like, preparing.
I'm always prepared for a zombie apocalypse. I'm just, I'm ready. I'll just know if I need to directly go and pick up my zombie survival kit, or am I somewhere else and I don't have it with me?
You do not have your zombie survival kit with you?
Not at all times. I have it in my house right now. I can go get it. I can go into my zombie bunker and there.
Well, maybe there will be a plane that will crash in your house and you won't be able to get to it.
Yeah, it's possible, but...
What you're really asking is, because your wife is sitting right next to you, you're asking how brutally am I going to kill her in front of you?
Is she going to... Yeah, do I have to kill her? Because...
You know what? I was sitting today, and the people who posted on Reddit know exactly where this is going to go, because again, this game starts typically sitting at your table. So in this game, it would start sitting on the webcam. But my questions on Reddit were pretty specific to a area of play that I'm going to be taking this, and it cuts out all the unnecessaries, because I found last time it was really fun, but you were 100% right, because you wanted to get your wife, you wanted to make sure your parents were safe, you wanted to make sure your grandparents were safe, you wanted to make sure... So I figured out a nice little thing where they all die instantly.
Oh, nice.
It was just, the plane falls on everything and kills everything.
Strategically.
And the book comes with 5 scenarios, and again, by scenarios I more mean like backdrops. So the last one, I will tell you this much, that the last one we played was Night of the Meteor, which was
very cool.
Yeah, I liked it. It was like rocks fell from the sky and brought back the dead. So it wasn't just that they brought back the dead, but they were like inanimate hands and shit. It was like...
we had a deer that was undead too, which is a kill.
Yes, which you guys very, very structurally tried to... I was going to say, but you did it very like...
thinking, like we thought about it, planned out.
Well, that's what I like about you guys, and again, for viewers watching, they role play it, and that's to say, I have played with people in the past where the first thing that happens, they're like, okay, I'm ready, I'm all, so it's like nothing. Okay, you're going on a plane. I bring my gun. It's like, no, you wouldn't bring your gun on a plane. It's like, what would you actually bring on a plane? All right, I bring my toothbrush. Yeah. That's fine. And I think we're pretty fair with that. And I think that might come up in this too. Not that it's an airplane, but again, I want to make sure that we stay pretty honest to that, and I think we will, because again, it's about the fun.
If there were zombies, I might just fetal position the rest of the game, and that's too honest, I think.
Yeah, that's too honest. It's got to be a happy medium. Again, there's going to be the story. There's going to be the fake kind of, this is how I'm going to try to progress the story, but for the most part, it's going to have to be a more heroic version of yourself.
That's right. We're going to see the contrast between my other role-playing with Penth versus me in real life, who'd be like, yeah, I don't know if I'd go in there. I don't know.
Penth, that bastard.
Yeah, he's lovable. People love him.
People love him. We got so much hate mail from Penth. Or for Penth, I said, oh, look, Penth, what's this guy? How do you even spell that name? P-N-T-T-T-H? Sorry, man. People don't like it. And again, just while we're waiting for Justin, who should be any minute, just to touch a little bit again on this system. Like I said, it's the first of 4 books that Fantasy Flight is releasing.
What are the other books?
So the first one is this one, obviously. It's the zombie apocalypse, and they're all the end of the world, which I think is such a cool concept. And I gotta say, when it comes to the Fantasy Flight shit, it always looks good. They put it to the nines. They put the colors, they put the artwork, they just make it look really good.
Do they do other stuff that you have?
Yeah, they do a ton of the board games we have. They did Game of Thrones. They have what is it? Arkham Horror. What else
Right.
did we play? Oh, they did Cosmic.
Mansions of Madness.
What?
Mansions of Madness or no?
Yeah, they do Manchester Madness. They do Cosmic Encounter,
Yes.
and which we
Great
just
one to
played.
start fights.
What's that?
Great game to start fights between friends.
We were not. We played that on Saturday. Him and his wife and me and my wife and. I was gonna say, and who won?
Nothing. No good can come from this conversation.
No good for the Cosmic Encounter conversation, but it is a really good game.
It is a fantastic game. I just take it too personally.
Anyway, so Fantasy Flight does that as well. So Fantasy Flight produced these, and again, they do them to the nines, which I love. So the first one is Zombie Apocalypse, which is obviously released. The next one is Wrath of the Titans, or sorry, Wrath of the Gods, which is like, I think, Cthulhu and probably Zeus or something. I don't know. I didn't actually read. Poseidon, I think, was one, maybe. I don't know. Then I think, I know the last two, but I can't remember what order. I believe it is then Alien. I was going to say Alien Apocalypse, but I don't think it would be because there's already Zombie Apocalypse. It's Alien something. And then the last one is Robots, which is kind of cool. And I was trying to think of what each one would be. Like, Zombies pretty obvious because there's a series of movies that are going to be for each version of zombies. Gods, yeah. You got, like, Cthulhu. You got the, Greek gods. You probably got the Christian god, like the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Yeah.
What's
Basically,
that?
Age of Mythology type stuff, basically all the different Norse gods and Egyptian mythology and everything.
Yeah, to me, like, that makes sense, right? And then Alien, I was thinking you would have, like...
Predator.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Alien.
I was thinking, like, Little Green Men,
Ah.
right? Come to Earth and probe and shit. And I was thinking, like, War of the Worlds, which is Little Green Men, so that's the same one. And then I was thinking, like, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You know how they, like, come in the pods and they change you and stuff like that? Or, like, what was that other one, that really crappy movie, The Host?
Or like The Thing. That type of thing.
Oh, my God, I would love to do the Thing scenario. You guys stuck in the Arctic? Not knowing, but how would you play it? I don't even know how you play that out.
Because a lot of players. I think it'd be more fun with lots of people. Oh no!
Yeah.
You know what you do? You just have a lot of non-player characters, and eventually you just slide like you have a paper that you slide to each character, and one will say you're the Thing, and your job is to get people alone and kill them. I don't know. That'd be awesome.
It would be really awesome, but I feel like it'd be tough to choreograph, to
Very
figure
hard.
out exactly how that game would work. It would be like, yeah, I don't know.
Any ideas? Let us know. Come up with
Yeah,
Sarah.
let us know if you have an idea for a Thing game. And there's a few one-offs like this that I want to do. This being one of them. I wanted to do a one-off end of the world zombie scenario. Another one I really wanted to do was a game that Shut Up and Sit Down did or talked about. I can't remember if they filmed it or anything, but it's a one-shot. I think it was like $5 to buy from their website. It was like a one-shot RPG that takes place in a car. Looks so cool. And what I was thinking is you, me, Justin, Mike, and I mean in there they set it up like a car, their living room, right? Like, but I would be a purist. I'd want to try to do it in a car. So maybe like set up a camera and then film it and put it on the stream after. But basically, you role play out a scenario where you guys have just gotten out of a heist, I think.
Nice.
It seemed really cool, but you had like choice things that you had to say to make sure it was, I don't know, that it made sense or it went forward or something. There's so many really cool concepts. Like I always think of that game that we played, The Rake, Addison Town.
Yep.
This was a game that I actually saw originally on Reddit, the idea for, like a concept about handing people pieces of their memory. And I developed it into a storyline, and basically the four of us, it was the four of us, it was the five of us, sorry, me and the three of you, and then my brother, woke up in a car, and they didn't know anything about themselves. And what I did is I printed off little pieces of information on pieces of paper, and I would slip it to them at
Like murder
certain
mystery
points.
stuff kind of thing. Yeah.
What's that?
Like a murder mystery in some ways.
Yeah, but the cool thing was, like, so to me, I knew that these guys were all bank robbers, and that Mike was a hostage. But because none of them knew their backgrounds and none of them knew the hierarchy of and the dynamics of the relationship, Mike kind of naturally fell into a more authoritative role. You remember that?
Yeah.
And he ended up being a lot more like badass. And I remember when the big reveal came, like way later in the game, that he ended up being the hostage the whole time. He was just like, and then he roleplayed it really well because he kind of fell back into the hostage mode. He was like, all right, guys, none of this fucking matters, blah, blah, blah. I slipped him a piece of paper. He's like, wait, I was the hostage. Wait a minute, I just remember. You guys fucking took me. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Every time I do Mike's voice.
It's one of my favorite games, I think, that we played by far.
I agree. I didn't play it, but I still thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I always thought, how cool would that be to, like, not sell necessarily, but to kind of market that idea. Oh shit, I just said it on the live stream. Now people are going to steal it. No, but I mean that idea of having an RPG game, a straightforward game, but where the characters are distributed in intervals, right? So for example, right, like a game like this, okay? So you know that you're playing someone, but you don't know how strong you are until
you try it.
Until you try it. So the cool thing is, like, you might be running along and you might be like, yo, I'm the badass, and you go to punch a guy, and then I tell you, yeah, no, you totally missed because your strength is only 2.
You break a wrist.
Yeah, and you break your wrist, and you're like, fuck, and then you find out you're like the IT guy, and you're like, shit. Ah, well, look at this.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, your volume is very low, though.
Okay, 1 second. Can you hear me now?
Much better.
Hey, all right. Hello, sorry I'm late.
That's okay. So we were just talking for a while, but we're ready to get the game started. So I've been over everything. I've emailed you your character.
Okay.
So familiarize yourself with that, and basically I'm going to go over the rules for the rolling system real quick, and then we're going to jump right into it.
Sweet.
Sound good? What are you eating?
It's the #1 rule of radio hosting.
Yeah,
Peanut butter jelly.
Peanut butter jelly?
Could be people with allergies.
Yeah, man. No, that's it. Peanut butter jelly, that's a 1 negative to your mental strength. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you guys made my character, eh?
Yeah, so it's kind of mean. Okay, and I'll tell you how this game works really quick because people have heard it to death. And basically, this is your sheet.
Okay.
These are your numbers, and you assign different values to them based on how we feel your character is. So Chris and I went through with the help of people who weren't talking, and we decided that to be fair, you know, we would give you highs and lows. And basically, we decided, and I'll photo stream, or I'll stream again, or share again, so people can know how mean we were. Basically, we decided that you were very high in dexterity,
Okay.
obviously, because you're a piano player, and every category needs a positive and a negative feature. So we gave you nimbleness, obviously, because, again, however, because we needed a negative, we couldn't think of anything, we went with uncoordinated, because while it does take coordination to play piano, you know.
What? Sorry, I missed that last bit.
I just said you know. I had no follow-up.
Hey, if you have an idea of something that's a negative physical trait that you know of yourself, and you want to share that, you could use that instead. But we figured uncoordinated, you're tall, sometimes that gets in the way.
Oh yeah, for sure. I hit my head on doors. Not even the top of doors, like the side of them.
There you go. So it's fair. So
Yeah,
again, your dexterity is very high because the idea of all these rolls is to get below these numbers. So your dexterity is nice and high, and because of which we kind of had to balance out your vitality, which is kind of low. Then we have your mental. Now we lowered this because we wanted to give you high charisma and high dexterity, but something had to be low, so we decided on willpower. And we gave you the quick learner feature, which I think is fair. I think you are a quick learner. You pick up things pretty fast. And we gave you the addiction to games because, well...
You're here, aren't you?
You're here, yeah. And we said that we're enablers, too.
So why is it only 2 and only 1? Is that like those just low rolls or what?
No, so basically you have 10 points to assign to whatever you want, right? So because we
Okay.
wanted to bring your dexterity and charisma higher, we had to lower 1, and willpower was a choice.
The more he talks with food in his mouth, we should lower charisma.
The less likable he is. No, okay. So, and then for your social, obviously, again, we put your charisma high. Your empathy is fairly high too because you are very empathetic. And your positive feature, we give you likability because you are very likable. People like you. I mean, think of all the, things people like.
That like me?
Well, put it this way, I can say this for
like
sure.
7.
I can say this for sure. 2 of the 3 people in this video right now like you for sure.
You and Harlan.
I was going to say there's going to be, I don't know which 2. And then finally, we gave you the negative characteristic, easily pressured, because, again...
What do you mean I'm easily pressured?
Justin, you are easily pressured.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay,
Nice.
perfect. So we are going to start the game now. I'm going to tell you really quickly how we're going to roll, and basically it's a positive and a negative dice pool. So I'd say, Justin, roll 3 positive die, and I would tell you why. In which case you would click 3 times, and then we would click on each one to highlight them. So those are your positive die. Then I'd say roll 2 negative die, and you would roll them, and that's going to be total. Then I would say cancel out the duplicates. So this 1 6 would be canceled out by this one negative 6. And you just do that by clicking on the die. That leaves you with a total of a 6 and a 1 positive. They're all separate. And a 4 is a negative. Now, all you have to do is get lower than the skill. So if you were rolling for dexterity, a 1 is definitely lower. That's a success. The 6 on the positive side is not a success, so that one doesn't count. But you do have the 4 and a negative, which would give you a stress. And all you would do is you would fill out this stress meter right here with one little tick.
How would you not get that stress?
How would you not get stressed? By not having negative die, or by canceling all the negative die out.
Right, okay.
It is tough, but again, I mean, it's pretty fair and easy. So, normally, this game starts sitting at the table. You are sitting around doing your shit, and the game just starts, which is kind of fun. Last time we were playing it, I was kind of halfway into it, and I was like, oh yeah, we're going to start the game now. Actually, you know what, fuck it, let's not stay the game. Let's just go outside and walk. And these guys thought I was serious, and they're like, well, why the hell would you do that? And I was like,
But we're playing.
So, this scenario, I've kind of catered a little bit to make it work for me. So, Chris, this scenario starts with you.
Hey.
In celebration of your 1-year anniversary, Chris, your wife and you decide to take a trip. So months of planning gave you a nice little trip down to Florida, where you guys would set sail across the sea for a weekend of excursions. Sorry, for a week-long cruise. However, the last minute before you guys left, she wasn't feeling too well. What were you to do? So, being the gentle, kind person you are, and being the sweethearted wife that you have, she insisted, Chris, you know, they're non-refundable. Please, please, please take your second best friend, Justin. Because obviously I couldn't go because I was busy. So, after a short flight, the sticky Florida heat hits you guys like a wall, and you exit the terminal. Again, you guys packed relatively quick because all this was planned to go Chris and Zara for their 1-year anniversary. And Justin, how do you feel about going along?
Oh, well, I mean, if anybody's going to go with Chris on an anniversary, it's me. Clearly.
Well, because I was sick. We've established that because I was sick.
Oh, right. Yeah, you were sick. That's the excuse we're all giving. Yeah. So yeah, for me, I happened to have the time off of work, and my boss was strangely okay with it. We're going to Florida, right?
Yeah, you guys are taking a cruise from Florida around the Belize area.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I've done the cruise before, but I know that Chris hasn't done it. So I thought that maybe it'd be fun if I went with him to show him around, and yeah, I can justify it very easily.
Good, because you
thanks
went.
for doing me a favor, Justin.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
So would you make? Now I gotta ask, would you make him pay his way, or would you just say fuck it, he's covered?
Oh, he's covered. I mean, if it's free, it's either that or the tickets are useless. Of course, it's free. But he is gonna buy me dinner. He's gonna buy me dinner.
Yeah, like a round of drinks at dinner.
No, dinner and drinks.
And the drinks.
A drink, not
Dinner is
alcohol.
usually free in these scenarios, but that's fair. I think that's very kind of you, Justin, to buy him drinks. So, you guys get out of the terminal, you walk across and take a taxi to the pier, where your beautiful, epic Carnival cruise ship is waiting for you. And you guys board. And you check into your room, and you make nice with the neighbors, a single father and his young daughter. She's about 10 years old and kind of gives you a embarrassed smile. Justin, obviously, because she's never seen a black man before.
Oh, okay.
And I'm assuming you give her a nice wave back of sorts. Maybe?
No.
We'll say he does, in a non-creepy way, where he's just like, eh. So the two of you decide to make the most of the vacation, and see, I even had it that Justin, feeling a little guilty, insisted that he would pay for the tickets, but Chris denied that and said, no, don't worry about it. So Justin picked up the tab for all the drinking.
No way. That's pretty predictable, eh?
And boy, did you guys drink. The first 3 nights, you were hammered every night, pounding them back, having fun at the bar, dancing at that 70s disco bar, which is really awkward.
Mm-hmm.
So by the 4th day, you had seen Belize and Roatan, and you're looking forward to a back-to-back day at sea. You spent the day lazing around, drinking, until you guys decided to go see one of the shows after dinner. You thought, what the hell? So, theater's packed. It's one of these 70s AC/DC ABBA hits nights where the singers don't quite fucking know the songs, but they're close enough and they're hitting that beat, and you're like, yeah, that's great.
Where are we sitting?
You guys are right in the middle. So you're, again, maybe... What's that?
Nice.
That's what I'm saying. You're like top of the hour, right? You guys get the best seats in the house. So you guys are right in the middle, maybe... Let's say the entire theater has 20 rows. You're about 10 rows back, and you're in the middle. You got an elderly couple right next to you. You got another elderly couple right next to you, and then next to them is another elderly couple.
White hair everywhere.
It's just a sea of white hair.
I chat them up in the during the intermissions.
Okay, that's fair. So the first intermission by this point has passed, and you turn to the older couple next to you, the male or the female, or both.
I turn to both of them and say, what do you think of the show so far?
And the woman just goes, oh, I just love ABBA. Did you ever see that Mamma Mia?
How old does she look?
She looks about 60, but just you get this vibe that she's probably a little older. Probably, she keeps active. I mean, she's sexy. I'd hit that.
Okay, all right, fair enough. And I say, yeah, I've seen ABBA before. We saw Mamma Mia, both actually, Chris and I, when we were in high school.
So the guy sitting there kind of rolls his eyes.
We're totally gonna be a couple. Everyone.
Yeah. So he kind of thinks.
Mamma Mia together.
Right.
We're on a cruise.
Right?
Well, I mean, not only does the bigoted man think you're gay, right? He also it's interracial. So he kind of just stuffily sits up and says, and he pretends to say something to her, to try to catch her attention away from you, and she kind of like, oh, what? Oh, fine. But she appreciates it. She seems pretty cool with it. So anyway, intermission's over. ABBA and AC/DC kind of fills back up the air, and you guys just kind of share a look in the darkness for whatever reason. You guys just meet your eyes and slowly lean in. No, but you do get the sense of, I don't know, it's nothing supernatural, but something just starts to feel a little wrong. And in that moment, you kind of hear a shuffling, like someone just can't sit still in their seat, someone really nervous. And maybe, I don't know, 5 people down past the couple you were just speaking to is a man kind of shuffling around a little bit.
Okay.
So again, I mean, no one's really paying attention. The couple next to you is kind of, maybe making no different than a person on their phone causing a bit of a ruckus.
I nudge Chris and say, do you see that?
Yeah, it's
You're closer to him.
Am I? Yeah, I see it. Yeah, let's not stare though. It's not very nice. Do you want me to get another drink?
Yeah, sure. Get a drink.
Right.
So Chris stands up to get a drink, and
that way I can kind of go by the guy and see what's going on as I go to get a drink.
Okay, so you start kind of shifting by him, and you're kind of looking. Are you kind of looking at him while he's doing it?
Well, yeah, like it's not staring, I'm trying to, but I'm trying to like do one of those ones where you like look by but clearly see what's going on.
So okay, so you slip by him, and you see that there is a younger woman next to him, and she's kind of like tapping him, and she's kind of like, "Are you okay? What's wrong? What's wrong?" And you see him; he's kind of clutching his chest a little bit.
Do you need me? Do you need me to go get some help?
And she kind of looks up and says, "Yeah." There's a woman sitting right next to her, maybe 3 seats from the aisle, and she's watching the whole thing, and she stands up as well, kind of blocking your path out. And she goes, "No, I'll get someone," and she zips up the aisle. And
I yell, "Is there a doctor nearby?"
Yeah, and people actually start turning around. Now the music's still playing, and the people on stage are still doing their shit, and 2 rows ahead of you, people don't really know what the fuck's going on. They're kind of just smiling there. But clearly something's wrong with this guy. And maybe 3 rows back from where you're looking around, you do see a guy kind of stand up and give you an earshot. What?
So I wave him forward. I said, "Come here."
He's like, okay, so he stands up.
Are you a doctor? Are you a doctor?
So he kind of hears kind of stuff. So as you're doing this, the man, has just kind of stopped moving. And the woman next to him is just kind of freaking out. And she's just kind of stopping him. And she's like, Walter, Wally. So 10 seconds later, the man's down the aisle. And again, he's trying not to cause too much of a ruckus because he doesn't quite know what's going on right now. And he's standing at the edge of the aisle. And he kind of motions to you again. And he's like, what's wrong?
I point to the guy. I was like, are you a doctor? He needs help.
And he goes, oh, yeah. And he starts walking the aisle. Justin, what are you doing at this point?
Do I see the whole thing happening?
Oh, yeah. You'd be probably watching. Well, I'm guessing. I don't know. What's ABBA or some action going down? I think you would notice because you were the first person to notice.
Okay. Okay. So I'm looking for staff. Is there any staff around?
So you can already see from the area that the woman was walking up, she's coming back with 2 people. So clearly, and already around you, the ruckus is starting to kind of make its way. People are starting to turn and notice a little more.
Okay.
Excuse me. The performers on the stage already have a little bit of, I mean, the majority of them are still in it, but there's a few on the sides that have kind of stopped and kind of noticed, and it's becoming kind of a central thing.
All right, so I'm going to go up to the side of the stage, just indiscreetly, and see if I can catch the attention of one of the side people.
Okay, so you stand up. By this point, you kind of take action. Like everyone else starting an applause, everyone else kind of starts standing up too, thinking like, okay, there's this tall dude and there's now 3 people standing. What the hell is going on? So as you stand up, the people next to you and those people stand up as well.
Even
and Chris, what's that?
Even the bigoted man?
Even it's the special. And actually, no, the bigoted man's just sitting there. You're just kind of like,
oh, okay.
Martha don't need this.
I paid for a ticket to ABBA.
I paid for a ticket. I'm gonna watch it. So Chris, you're standing there, and this guy hasn't been breathing for.
Well, the doctor, I can't do anything. I don't know CPR.
No, of course. Sure. No, but you're standing there, and the man's kind of making his way awkwardly down the aisle, and he kind of touched the man, and he stands in front of him. You're standing right in front of him, and he leans in and listens, and he's like, I don't think so, and he kind of points to the staff walking down the aisle, and he kind of says, come down here. There's a man here who's sick. People now hearing his voice as the people on the stage seem to kind of be stopping. And a voice kind of comes over the PA as the house lights come up and say, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to need to stop the show for a second. It seems like one of the audience members is having a heart attack of sorts. They should probably say something a little more politically correct than that. But I can't think of what they say. Yeah, the man just died. But from where you're standing, it does look like this man is no longer breathing. And the doctor's kind of standing over him, and again he's kind of listening. He's like,
"Is the wife in hysterics? Does she like lose her mind?"
She's hysterical. She was like, "Oh, no, this isn't happening. This isn't happening."
I tried to comfort her, and I said, give the doctor space. He needs to.
Well, the couple on the other side has stood up, and they're kind of shifting down the aisle towards where Justin is sitting, and he kind of takes this seat there and goes back to the man, and again he's kind of just checking him over, and as he leans over, the man sits up, and he's the man who was once dead, or you feel is dead. And he takes a bite.
Oh.
He takes a very large, bloody bite out of the man who was seeing him, and you hear it first.
Oh.
As the woman is sitting there and you are consoling her, you hear this soft, almost like a popping crunch. And she just pierces the flesh around his jugular vein, and you hear it like sticking a knife into an orange. It pops
the vein.
And a very soft, just mist of blood splashes on your face before you even know what happens. And as you turn, you see the elderly man just gnaw a piece off, and the doctor falls over the balcony, or not the balcony, sorry, the row in front of you. And a shrill scream comes out of the woman standing in front of you, just a blood-curdling scream. And she freaks the fuck out, and she starts climbing over seats before her, putting her high heels right in your fucking shin. She is just, and people just dive out of the way as this happens.
Okay,
wow.
So I see this happening, I guess.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I would fall back too.
I'm gonna stand up on a chair and I'm gonna shout out. I'm gonna say, "Everybody, remain calm and leave as slowly as possible."
Okay, so let's do this.
No, this confidence slowly.
Don't panic. Everything's gonna be okay.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Justin. So I want you to roll 1 die for a charisma check. Okay. I'm gonna want you to roll a 2nd die for your likable trait.
Okay.
Okay. So just click the red one twice.
I'm gonna listen to that guy. I like him.
Yeah. But then I'm gonna make you roll probably 3, maybe 4 negative die because someone's dying. But we're gonna do 3 because I think that's important.
Yeah, the way I figure is that most people wouldn't know what's going on. They'll see a shuffle, but I'm just gonna say everybody
Remain calm.
remain calm. Like I'm trying to get that look more curious.
Oh yeah, no, and to me
just
that makes.
the fact.
Oh yeah, to me it makes sense. The question is why would they listen to you? That's what I'm really rolling for. Because some dude who's in the middle of things to stand up and say, "Everyone, can I stay calm?"
What are you wearing?
Fuck you.
Okay, you're wearing a Hawaiian shirt and I don't know.
He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, you're wearing a Hawaiian.
No, I'm wearing like nice pants and good shoes. Remember me at the cruise? Remember me on the cruise?
He was casual. He looked good. All right, so roll. Give me 2 positive die.
Okay.
And then just circle them.
Rolling.
And then just highlight them.
So just click them.
Okay.
Yeah, and then let's do 3 negative die. So just 3 more. Okay, so nothing cancels out, and unfortunately, because neither of those are below 4, which is your charisma, neither succeeds. So.
Oh, it's the other way.
Yeah. So basically, we would want lower than your number, but that's okay. It is the first test, and we're still kind of figuring this out. But basically, what I'm thinking just happens is you stand up on the stage.
No,
not from the stage, sorry, from the chair. And from your viewpoint, while your intentions is noble, you get a front eye view of a man with his neck ripped open. And you definitely take some, we'll say, social stress, because that's what you rolled for and got the negative. So instead of taking 3, we'll just say you take 1 social stress right now, because first off, holy fuck. The minute you stand up on stage and you get that view, people around you are clamoring out. The people beyond maybe the 3 rows, yeah, they're kind of looking around, standing up softly, but it does not take long for people to start seeing what the hell's going on and freaking out. Okay, so Chris, what are you doing?
So is this guy, the guy who took a bite, what's he doing now? Is he like thrashing
So he's
around?
still kind of noshing on the guy, but he's a foot from you.
I say get off of him, get the F off of him, and I punch him as hard as I can.
You say F? Get the F off him?
Get the fuck off of him.
There you go. That's what I want to hear. You're in the moment. I want to hear it.
Okay, yeah. I was just if I'm gaming versus in real life.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so you grab the man who's biting the other guy.
I don't grab him. I kick him off if I can.
Okay.
Now who is he biting? Because the one guy fell backwards, so he's biting his ankle kind of thing?
Yeah, he kind of fell with him. So he bit him, he's ripped off a piece
so
and covered
he's in the next seat, and I'm standing there. Yeah, I guess I would try to grab him and pull him off then.
Okay, so let's do a physical check, and we'll call it... well, actually, I know how it's going to go anyway. This is what we're going to do. You pull him off. No problem, because he's not exactly clinging to life on this guy. He's really just looking for something fresh and tasty. So you grab this guy by the back of his neck, and you kind of yank him off. And where do you throw him?
I don't know if I would throw him. I would just pull him off and try to restrain him or something, like push him down and try to hang on to him.
Perfect. So you pull him over, and as you kind of lift him off and try to... Now, again, there's not much room between these seats. We're talking about, enough to kind of swidge by. So you don't have that much maneuverability. So what I'll say is, if this guy was on the floor, you pull him up and you kind of push him in the seats almost, kind of lying across the seats. And as you hold him there for a quick second, you get a front row seat to what this thing is, and it's not human. Its eyes are now just cold and dead, and the blood that it had chewed off of this man is just dripping through its mouth. But more than that, it's also taking a few of its own teeth when it bit in. Because what you're guessing is this thing was gnawing on him, probably went right down to his spine, started chipping away his own sinew and teeth, and little bits of his own tongue are kind of hanging off itself. It's just kind of just... And he's chomping the air at you. So... I'm going to say we don't have to roll for this, but you're going to take a stress for mental, because what you've just seen is something you have never seen before, and it is something that you will never forget.
Okay.
So, how do you react to that?
I would stumble backwards, and I think I would have a hard time not going into shock right away because I don't know how to react. I don't know if this guy, to me, he looks like a zombie, but I don't believe it. So I asked the other people, hold him down.
So, people by this point, and again, we're thinking of
Are
a
people
lot
like
of older.
booking there? Aren't they just running?
They're booking it. These are older people. These are relatively well-off people. They do not give a fuck, and they are up. And by this point, with the house lights on and the sounds coming from this thing, everyone knows. Now, as you're standing there and you kind of reel back in shock, you see that the doctor starts crawling down the aisle as well.
I'm getting out of there too. I
Okay.
look for Justin. I look around to see if I can find Justin.
So now Justin is on the other side. So basically, if this is where you are, and this is the row, he's on the other side, and the zombies are right now sort of close to you. But
Is he on the stage?
I
He did not go to.
I gesture towards the stage.
Okay, perfect.
And so I nod and I say, I nod, kind of saying, yeah, I get it. Well, I'll meet you there.
Okay,
I started booking towards the stage against the people trying to get away.
exactly.
not to
So
fall down.
people are
But
pouring
instead-
past you.
Yeah, instead of going down the aisle, I climb over the seats because clearly the aisles are too filled.
Okay, so you start climbing over the seats, and as you're climbing over the seats, you do see maybe behind you, Justin, because you're now booking down your side, and your side was a little closer to the aisle. So you're almost at the stage, and you see a few people leaning up from backstage, and maybe performers, and they're kind of like, "What the fuck's going on?" But you do see them looking behind you, and as you spin around, you see maybe 4 or 5 dressed crewmen now where you last saw the creatures, and one of them just screams out in pain.
Okay. I tell them, get back, they're hostile.
Okay, so let's do a little bit of do they hear you? I'm going to say at this point a lot of people are gone. So I'm going to say, put it this way, there's 4 of them. I'm going to say one of them for sure hears you anyway. And he kind of turns to you and he's kind of like, what? He's from the Philippines, obviously. He says, what? That's my Philippine accent. What's going on? And he kind of steps out towards you. And that was... Go ahead.
Oh, I say they're sick. They have sickness. Stay back.
So at this point, the scream coming from his friend clearly wasn't just from the death of the body. He realizes his friend is being eaten as well, and he's kind of like, oh. So he comes back down the aisle and starts running towards you.
Okay, I gesture towards the stage. I point him towards the stage. Go.
Okay, so he climbs up and he kind of scurries backstage past a woman who's hanging.
No, I'm working towards the stage too, right?
Okay, well I would say now you're at the stage, both of you.
Oh, okay, great.
So he's.
Did you see that? He took a bite of that guy.
Okay, we got more important things to worry about. Let's get a guitar or something. Is there like a guitar around?
We need to play a song.
We need to play a song. Let's sing
Let's
about
kill
our feelings, guys.
Okay, so you see a backstage door open because you guys are still kind of on the main floor, and now you see maybe 4 or 5 of these creatures standing up in a short time. 3 from the area you just saw. 1 from a guy who, might not be. He could still be alive climbing. But you also see another one walking up towards where the people are, and they're kind of half trying to shut the door. And I'm going to guess that, well, put it this way. Regardless of what you tried to do, before you would even make it halfway up, that creature has one arm in and has climbed out the door into the crowd of people that are outside the
Is there an exit sign anywhere that we can see? There must be more than one exit to this theater.
So you take a look around, and there's 2 on the top balcony, there's 2 on the other side. There's side doors on the stage, but you spin around looking to on the stage, and you do see a girl dressed scantily clad, and she's kind of like, come here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So I climb on the stage and go. It was like, where?
Okay, and Justin and
Yeah, I follow. I'm serious about this though. Is there a guitar around?
not on stage. No, not on stage yet.
Just grab a mic stand.
But she says, come here, come.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So do I trust her? Well, okay. Yeah, we go. I go.
Yeah. She seems like scared.
Is she a witch? Puerto Rican witch?
So you guys come to the back door of the theater, and she kind of beckons you in, and in the back room, huddled, are maybe 3 other people, her and 2 other women. And then obviously the little maintenance guy comes after you as well. And he's a little guy. He's like 5'5" or 5'4" or
This is
something
just
like
a
that.
little room?
Yeah, this is, and as you enter, you recognize it as a dressing room. It's got some mirrors and things like that, and they probably put on makeup and things like that as a ready room. There is an exit to it, looks like to the back of the theater, but I'm going to guess you take a quick look around for something to find, Justin?
Yeah, I'm looking for a weapon.
Okay, so you're taking a look around, and you see things that you could probably throw if you needed to, like small discus mirrors and things like that. But in regards to a heavy... like something that you can smash a guy with. Yeah, there is a mic stand with a big heavy round base that you might be able to use.
You unscrew it?
Worth it.
Yeah, you can unscrew it, but it would be less so because it would only be like a whacking stick. Like the weight on the end, it almost acts like a semi sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, there might be a guitar backstage. Yeah, sure. You know what? Put it this way. It was the first thing you went to, so I'll give it to you. Let's say there would be an electric guitar leaning up against the back door, and even as a bonus, there's no strings on it because it was one that they were just changing, so you don't have to worry about the message.
No strings attached.
No
nice.
strings attached.
Okay, yeah, I grab that, and I go to the maintenance guy, and I say, we need to warn the rest of the cruise ship. We need to lock off certain areas.
While he's doing that, I'm peeking out the exit because I want to make sure no one's coming this way.
Okay, so the maintenance guy looks at you and he goes, "Okay," and you're looking at the maintenance door, and
Speak Spanish?
I'm just being a dick. No, he talks to you and he kind of says, "Yes, and he thinks for a minute. So Chris, you're looking at the back door, and it is eerily barren now. It looks like just a long straight hallway that wraps around the backside of the stage and most likely comes out on the ground level of the atrium floor, or whatever you want to call it. Not atrium. Atrium is where birds are, aren't they? That's
But I think it does work.
perfect. Atrium it is. So he goes, the maintenance man. Warn them?
Telephone.
There must be a fire drill thing I can pull.
And he goes, PA system.
No. Telephone. Hey, way over. Telephone. Captain.
Yeah. And he goes to the wall, and there's a phone, and he picks it up. And he says, I need to talk to Captain, and da-da-da-da-da. And he starts talking to someone on the other line.
Okay.
And Chris, what did you ask, sorry?
I can't remember. It was important. Oh, was it fire alarm?
Fire alarm.
Fire alarm. Yes. So, yeah, there's a fire alarm. Do you want to pull it?
I asked, Justin, should we just pull this?
Yes, we could, but then everybody would be scrambling to get out into the halls and away from their rooms. I think their best bet right now is to stay in their rooms and lock their doors.
All right. And then as the man's kind of waiting on the line, he turns to you and says, PA system.
Yeah, okay.
And then one of the dancers like, I think he's saying that he can call a PA system and tell people around the ship, like the man says, do not leave your rooms if you need to say.
Perfect. That's exactly what I want.
And then she talks to him for a little bit in some language which I clearly can't do an accent for, and she says, no, but he says PA system to call is in the how come it is the bridge, the top of the ship.
Okay, how far is that? Would I know where that is already? Just from
well,
ship?
I've emailed you both a floor plan for the ship, so you guys can look. And for anyone else who's curious about where these guys are in relation to the ship, you can go to Carnival Cruise Lines. It sounds like a fucking ad, but Carnival Cruise Lines. I picked the Carnival Conquest ship because and this is the ship that you're going, and at about 400%, it is the perfect way to. I could even pull this up, and we can do it's like the perfect map plan. So, currently, you guys are in the second. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not going to worry too much about the other decks, obviously, because a lot of them are just staterooms and things like that. But currently, we are in the front of the ship with the stage, and we are on the main floor, which would be the third picture. So lobby deck 3. Okay.
Okay.
So now again, obviously because I didn't do that much research because this is really a pickup game, I'm not going to know exactly. So we're going to kind of fudge a few things if the map says a little differently. And to show anyone else watching who might be curious, this is kind of what we're looking at right now. So this is the stage. The guys were sitting around here when it started. They ended up running down here, and now they're kind of somewhere back here, which again probably wouldn't show on a ship map anyway because this is accessible via the internet. They probably wouldn't want people to know how to get to their most intimate areas. But basically what you do see, Chris, when you were looking down the hall is a wraparound, which looks like it would come through a door right about here. Same door right about here. Okay? So that's where we're at there. So on that same map, you can see that the captain's quarters, well, I might as well pull it back up too, that the captain's quarters are what they're talking about. And again, these ships are all over, or these pictures are all over the ship, is probably somewhere along here, near the aft spa or the deck or something like that. Okay. I mean, again, if you looked at it a little longer, you'd probably find the exact spot, and truthfully, I didn't. Oh, there it is, the bridge. Perfect. So the bridge is on the 8th deck. You guys are currently on the 3rd deck.
Okay, so I don't know, Chris, what do you think?
Oops.
I think that first order of business should be getting people in their room and they're locking their doors. If we're going to be running around this cruise ship, like, people need to be in their rooms because the more people that are exposed to whatever this is, the more people that we're going to have to go through.
I don't think it's... I think there's other people on the ship who are going to tell... I think the captain already knows. Me and you are just on this cruise. Like, there are professional people who are in charge of security and that type of thing who know how to get to the captain. It's not our job to do that. I'm surprised it's not on the PA already. I think we need to get to our cabin.
But look at the way they handled this situation. They sent 4 crewmen down there. One of them ran with us, and I don't know what happened to the other 2. God, they could be turned into whatever. I take a peek out onto the floor.
Be a slaughterfest.
Okay, so you lean out to the stage, and you see crowded around the front of the stage are 3 zombies. We're just going to go with the zombie name from now on. And they're slowly trying to climb up.
Okay, all right, so they're slow zombies, so that's a good thing.
Always a good thing.
Go 28 days later here.
Yeah, I'm not on a cruise ship. Thank you. Okay, well, I don't... Is he still talking to the captain on there?
He's just waiting. He said, and then after a few minutes, he's like, he's dead. He's dead. He's not working. I'm Manuel from Faulty Towers. He's dead. He's dead. Basil.
So did they do the message? Did they send the? Oh, we've got to get up to the deck. Right, of course.
Well, I don't know if we should move from the spot. We're safe here.
There's 3 zombies right there.
Is there? How sturdy is the door?
So you check in, and it's a classic backstage door. Although because it is into like a dressing room, it's just plain wood. It's not like a heavy. Sorry.
Must be able to lock it from this side if it's a dressing room.
Yeah, definitely locks.
Okay, lock the door for sure. And okay, if we're gonna, you want to move? You think it's smart to get out of here?
Well, we need a plan. We need to know that, sure, there's some dudes who are turned into zombies. I'm just gonna say zombies. They're freaking zombies. You know what? I've played enough video games.
You would know they're zombies. Oh wait, where is it?
You know what? You're right. We might need to get somewhere so that we can make a distress call or something at least.
Exactly, and we need to get off this ship. So even if we do hide in our rooms, if there is something that we can do to make sure that this ship actually makes it to port.
And metaing it, I mean, okay, let's be honest. Yes, you want to play yourselves, but at the same time, both you guys know what zombies are. And at this point, you would be like, I think these are fucking zombies.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Okay.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, I try. pinch me.
I'm so nervous.
I'm gonna try to take the rack that has the clothes on it that's in the room.
Okay. Sorry. One quick thing I'm going to say. For anyone watching, if you have any suggestions of these 2 guys to get out of this kooky situation, feel free to live tweet us at @InvictusStream. That's @InvictusStream. Who knows? Maybe you could be the next one to survive a zombie apocalypse. Continue.
Okay, does the clothes rack come off?
The clothes rack, yeah.
The clothes rack that I can use as a heavy bludgeoning weapon.
Sure. I mean, it's still going to be a pole. It's not that heavy.
That's fine. Better than nothing.
Keep
Either that or break your chair leg off.
Yeah, you could break a chair leg. Yeah.
Try that. I say, okay, everybody, we should stick together. Everybody get something you can beat someone with. There should be scissors and things like that you can grab.
So the one girl who kind of motioned you in she's in it. She's like, yeah, and the maintenance guy's like, see. But the other two girls are like cowering in the corner, like just fucking. Yeah, they're pretty shaking.
I said, are you girls gonna stay here? If you stay here, you could be, they could get in here.
And the one's got, the other one's head, and she kind of looks up at you, like almost scowling, and she's kind of like, she just watched her brother die.
Okay. Okay, real life. I'm sorry, we can't. I was like, it was gonna be pent there for a bit.
Oh,
alright, that's fine.
Fuck
you,
man.
We can't do anything for him now, but does he want you to die? We got to get you someplace safe. There'll be time for grieving later.
Okay, so you have a compassionate social trait, which means I'm going to give you one for the actual challenge. I'm going to give you a bonus one for being compassionate. And sorry, what did you say to her specifically?
I said there's time to grieve later. We got to go.
Okay,
I'm
going to give you two.
I know that you just lost, someone you care about, but he wouldn't want you to die here.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm gonna help you to a third. She looks up to you and say, "What do you suggest we do?"
So I say, okay, get something that you can defend yourself with. We're going to try to get off this ship in one piece.
Okay, so I think the fact that you present her with a plan as well means that there might be a future beyond this. I'm going to give you a third for that. And again, when talking to anyone going forward, I'm going to give you guys bonuses for what they might want to hear right now. A girl that you say, grieve later, she might not have a later. But if you appeal to her and say, look, we can get off this, we can still live, that's going to be a bonus. Just to give you a little bit of my psyche.
I also hand her some clothes to put on. I was like, put this on.
Well, you don't like the way I'm dressing? I take away one. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so we'll do three. So roll three and circle them.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. And then roll. We're gonna say just one negative because right now it's kind of a slam dunk to go. But it won't matter because you needed a 4 or under to succeed, and you did have compassionate, but unfortunately didn't hit. So she sticks her head right back down and she says, "It's over. It's no reason." It takes away from the severity when I do it in an accent. So she says, "There's no reason. It's over." And she looks back down.
And it's like, are you going to stay with her? Yeah, that's the other girl.
And she's just kind of crying into the shoulder. And at that moment, the door starts banging. In the most unepic banging ever. Foom. Foom. No, it's like...
All right, so am I taking, first of all, some damage, or...
No, you haven't hit anything.
Oh, I thought I have to take sanity or something like that.
You do normally,
failing.
because it's going to be a judgment call on my part. Would I say that failing that is going to be a huge stress? Actually, you know what? Yeah, that would be, because you just failed to convince someone to save their life. So yeah, we'll do that. Mind you, you'll build up a resistance to it, depending on how much social stress you get. But for now, I'd say yeah.
I already had a social stress, so this would be my second social stress?
So yeah, so the third one, you're going to build up a resistance. So yeah, you might as well...
Okay. Okay. Can I try to? Is it going to be possible for me to push her out of the room? Justin, help me get these girls out of here.
Okay.
I pick one up and I put her on my shoulder and I go out the door.
Okay. So she is, because you're now again to get into the psyche of her. It's not that she doesn't necessarily want to leave right now, but also you've just separated from the person she was clutching you so tight. So she is fighting you, not for the reason of you trying to save her, but because she wants her friend. So she's holding on to her friend, screaming and kicking.
Justin, come on, help me.
What's her friend doing?
Her friend stands up and bolts to the door that you've locked, and she unlocks it.
Okay, I go to stop her. I put my hand on the door.
Okay, so you do put your hand on the door,
yeah.
and it starts kind of moving as you do it. Now she's fighting you, and she's like, "No, get me out of here!" She was the one that was just wrecked.
I say, shh, listen.
Okay, so let's do a social roll.
Okay.
So give me so let's see. Where are you at? So you have your likability. So let's let's roll 2 positives and 1 negative.
All right. Here's the positives. Oh my god. And 1 negative. Ah, yes.
Okay, so you do not succeed, but of course you do not take any negative because that 6 is going to cancel out that 6. So you say to her,
how does it not succeed? Because I've
Well-
got a 5 left.
yeah, you need something under 4,
Right. Okay.
right? So if that one was an under 4, you would succeed. But so
But I don't-
basically, no. So you do say, because you said listen. She listens and she listens for a second, and while you hear moaning and nothing, she's like, no, they're hurt, and she pulls the door even harder. Now, you're stronger than her, so you're going to keep the door shut.
Okay.
But at this point, she realizes she's not going to it, and she runs over to Chris and smacks him. The maintenance guy, the maintenance guy, meanwhile, and the other girl, the girl turns and says, just leave them, and they both leave through the back door. She brandishing a pair of probably scissors or something.
Yeah. I say there's nothing we can do for them, Chris. I mean, they're on their own now, so we did the best we could.
We can't just leave them.
There's plenty of people.
Have you locked the door?
I've locked the moaning door.
All right, so I try to pull like
The moaning door,
dresser.
it's like the wailing wall.
It's like, at least help me barricade a little bit. And I go over to the dresser. Help me lift this. To try to put it in front of the door.
And there should be like base cabinets and stuff around.
Yeah, whatever we can.
Yeah, and I'm not going to make you roll for it because you would be determined enough to do it, and it's a cabinet. Like, come on,
Okay.
right? So you guys both pick it up in about 2 seconds, lift it over, put it in front of the door. You turn to them, and they kind of go, and they're scowling at you. I mean, come on, really ungrateful.
Well,
Say, don't leave this room. We'll come back for you if we can.
And they kind of cower back in the corner.
all right. So I go to Chris and I say, okay, so you want to save everybody, eh?
What do you mean I want to save everybody?
You want everybody to survive this.
Don't you?
Yes, I do, but we can't carry people on our backs. That's just going to put both of us at jeopardy. All of us, the people we're carrying and ourselves.
So you would have them die. You would leave them here to die.
No, but I wouldn't resort to that. That's all I'm saying. Now, I was looking at the plans, and it looks like there are stairs right here behind the stage that lead all the way up to at least deck 6, I think, or deck 7. Once we get to deck 7, though, we're going to have to move down the halls. They're very narrow hallways.
I'm going to say, based on the layout, that it only leads you up to the Toulouse main lounge. Because at that point, there are stairs to the next level. Sorry, Promenade deck 5. Because there are stairs to the next level, but they're not lined up, which means they're further down the hall. So it would get you to the top of the balcony, basically, and you would be able to leave the atrium from a safer place, but it's not going to give you up to the 6th level yet.
Okay, but, I mean, it's a start. What do you think?
I agree. We gotta go.
Okay, so I've got a guitar, you've got a bar.
Yeah.
That's us, bar and guitar, the zombie fighting team. All right, so you guys link through the back door, and you do see the maintenance guy. So cute. He's just kind of standing there with what looks like a wrench that he found in the hall, waiting at kind of the cusp of a circle, which you would imagine leads to the stairs. And he kind of says, "She gone up, she gone up." And he was waiting for you guys.
Okay.
All right, well, let's go.
All right, well, what's the fastest way? Deck 8. Deck 8.
Deck 8.
Yeah.
And he kind of goes like this, and then he just zips up the stairs, assuming that you'll follow.
Okay,
All
so
right.
we follow.
So he does make it up to the Toulouse main lounge, which is on the Promenade 5. And as you get up there, you see that you're now at the top of the atrium, and she's kind of standing, a few rows in. Fair enough. And she turns around and she says, "Come, shh." And he kind of gestures that way is the fastest way that it's going to go.
Okay.
So you start walking along, and you can look down, and you see now that in the where you guys were sitting previously, you see the blood-stained cushions. You see pieces of flesh left behind from one of the poor maintenance guys got eaten or something. But you also see a number of other zombies, more in fact, and kind of leaning over, should you choose to, you do see that the doors to the atrium are open as well, meaning that whatever was in and out has been leaving freely.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't see you right now, but you guys probably take particular caution to go slow and quiet.
I look around to see if there's like a, like one of those fire hydrant type things where there's an accident, like break this glass to get the axe. I keep an eye out for something like that if we come across it.
For sure. So you're walking and you see a lot of stuff that has been abandoned from people because they left in a hurry. Unfortunately, yeah, I'm gonna say I've been on 4 cruises. I've never seen one of those axes in the halls. I don't think they keep them. No, I think they're probably too much of a hazard. They would exist, but probably in some sort of crew quarters or something.
Right. But I'll keep an eye out. So if we ever do go into that type of place.
Definitely. I will keep that in mind for when you go in that area. That you're always going to be watching out for that. But I will say you'll never find them in any public areas for sure.
Right. Fair enough.
Okay, so you guys continue along, kind of being sneaky and quiet, and the maintenance guy is just kind of trembling, really scared. He's so cute too. He's only like 5. I think I made him 5'5", 5'4". I'm gonna make him 5. It's like Danny DeVito. Really short. Yeah, but a cute guy. Anyway, so sure, you kind of walk.
Are his hands shaking? Like.
Oh, your audio is really muffled, Justin. Go again.
Are his hands shaking?
Yes. Yes, his hands are shaking.
His hands are shaking. So I.
His audio's cut out. Can you hear him?
Yeah. No, not at all.
No, Justin, your audio cut out. You might need to switch mics. That's the beauty of recording music. You got like 100 mics.
Yeah. Where are we? We're still in the atrium.
Yeah, so you're in the top level of the atrium. So you're in the same theater, but you're amongst the higher balconies, and they loop around.
Are there like drinks in any of the cup holders and stuff like that?
Yeah, there's some drinks. Yeah, for sure.
I look for one that smells like alcohol, and I tell the guy to drink it. Here, drink this. This will calm you.
Okay. All right. So you hand him a drink, and he goes, and he looks at you, and he says,
"It'll make you feel better."
And he takes a little sip and goes, and kind of finishes it and spits out the cigarette butt that was left in it. No, I'm kidding. There's no smoking in ships anyway. So, but he does finish, and he kind of goes, oh, and he hands it back to you.
Does he look like he calms down a little bit? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. He might be.
You have another one.
No, but he hands it back to you in a sense of kind of friendship, like, oh.
Oh, for me to drink some?
Yeah.
I said thank you, and I drink a little. I put it down.
And he kind of stops for a second, and he kind of looks back at the girl, and Justin, you're kind of standing shoulder to shoulder, crouched a little bit, and he says, Emmanuel.
Okay, I said, my name's Chris. This is Justin. What's her name? Nice to meet you.
She's a good bit up right now, so we don't know just yet. But anyway, so you continue on walking down the lane, so to speak, and you come to the doors of the top level of the atrium, which open up onto the shops. And every ship has a section that are dedicated to shops. So you can see her kind of standing at the doors, just peeking out a little bit, looking into the shop area. It's brightly lit, but she kind of looks back to you and says, "They're in there."
Justin's asking for 1 minute.
Oh, he's just restarting. So
yeah.
He stops at that moment, and it kind of turns, and she turns back to you and says, "What is your name?"
So my name's Chris. What's yours?
And she says her name is... I was going to say Rosa, but let's do it. Her name is Rosa.
Stereotype.
I know, but that's... Have you ever been on a cruise ship? They're all from different countries. That's how it is. So, Rosa, Emmanuel, Justin, and Chris are standing at the doors leading out into the shops of the cruise ship.
Have I been through these shops on a couple days that we're here?
You have, yes, yeah. Basically, they're just lit up hallways. They're very straightforward. And
what kind of shops are they? Like clothes shops, souvenirs, that type of thing?
Yeah, there's a cherry on top candy shop. There's one called the Fun Shop. And again, they're all, you can see them all online, or on the PDF that I attached. And whoa, that was loud. You there, Justin? He can't hear us.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry. There we go.
Perfect.
Okay, so what did I miss?
So
I missed all of that.
You basically do little introductions between Emmanuel and Rosa. And other than that, you guys are now standing at the doors to the shops. And he's kind of pointing to the shop area.
Hmm.
What kind of shops are there on this cruise ship?
Fun shops, which are like souvenirs, clothes, things like that. There's a candy shop called Cherry on Top. There is a sports bar. And then just beyond that, there is a casino.
Hmm.
Okay.
Well, the chances
No,
are there's
Chris.
a lot of people in the canteen. Can we go? No, there's probably a lot of people. No.
I'll show you. I'll show you what we're looking at. So again, you guys came to the top level here. You walked along here, and you came out of the doors right down here. Now you're coming into the fun shop area with the Cherry on Top, the sports bar that leads into the casino.
Which we have to go through. There's no way around it.
Hmm. Okay. Well, we're closer. I'm trying to see where that is on the main scale of. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So we can either go through or we can go back.
Can't go over it. Might as well go through it.
Aren't there stairs just to the right of us?
There should be. However, you guys are not out this door yet. So there should technically be stairs leading up this way, yes.
Okay, and are they clear doors? Is there like a porthole?
No, they're cracked open right now, and Rose is looking out to them, and you guys are all kind of leaning out.
Okay, and what do we see anything? Any movement?
Yes, it looks like there is some movement around this area. But because you are looking on an angle, you can kind of only see maybe a little bit of this.
Okay. Well, maybe it makes sense to scout the other side.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's easy enough. Emmanuel kind of immediately sees what you're saying, and he goes, yeah. And he starts walking around the other side.
Okay, I go with him.
Okay. So you and Emmanuel go out this way and check the opposite doors, and you see a number of feet at the bottom of these set of stairs here.
What are the feet wearing? What kind of shoes?
Various shoes, but what you can tell is that their ankles, for the majority of the ones wearing high heels, are broken. They're walking on the stubs of their feet. They're not alive.
Okay.
So as you're leaning here and as you're leaning out, every once in a while you hear just the echo of screams just through the halls, and you hear like the tinking of coins, and you can hear the casino machines in the distance just being like. And then you hear, "Help me! Help!"
Where's it coming from?
It's coming from towards the casino.
Okay.
Do I hear that or just Justin?
You both hear it.
All right. Well, what do you think? Okay, so I gesture for Emmanuel to come back to Chris.
Okay. Yeah. So the four of you are all back at this door, or back at the other door.
And I say, should we help him? What is Rosa? What's her reaction?
Sounds like a female. Now Rosa's she's very like, she's straight cut, but she's looking at you guys like, we need to move.
Yeah. Okay. Chris, what do you think?
Dead below getting
He's dead already. I don't think we're going to be able to get to him in time. But maybe he'll distract all the people on the staircase and we can get upstairs now.
You can still hear screaming. Help me!
Go look to see if the people on the stairs aren't there anymore. Maybe they went to see the feed as well.
Okay, so
Or
I'll
you
go.
can call back. I don't know. Like, does it sound like he's being attacked, or do you think he's just trapped somewhere?
I don't know. I have no idea. But if we don't do anything soon, chances are he won't be either.
Let's go help him.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
So it
so-
sounds like he's coming from the casino, eh?
Yeah. So Rosa kind of slowly opens the door, and you see that right now the path from where you are to at least this curve, which was the entrance to the sports bar, seems pretty clear. You see the last set of footsteps walking towards these stairs.
Where stairs?
The stairs that are right next between the two doors. The last sets of footsteps walk towards those. I'll screen share it so it's easier to say.
Yeah, okay. And they're walking to the stairs.
Yeah, so basically the last steps are walking this way, and from here to here seems clear. And you do hear, as you kind of start leaning your heads, you do hear like screaming and muffled screaming from the stairs above. So whatever's going on is drawing things up these stairs.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Maybe we should go through the fun shops if the doors are open, and then
Come out
come out the other side, and then keep going into Don Cherry's. I think that's Don
Cherry on
Cherry's.
top?
Yeah, the sports bar.
The EA Sports Bar, yeah.
Yeah, and then go through the side. Try to stick to the walls as much as possible.
Perfect. So you relay the plan very softly to Rosa and Emmanuel, and you kind of nods a nervous nod, and they begin to slink out. Now, who wants to take the lead?
I'll take the lead with my guitar.
Okay. So you very nervously stick your head out, kind of look around, and you can see just on the cusp of those stairs the feet of the creatures. And as you kind of come up, you do see them all kind of slowly shambling towards the stairs. There's probably about 15, 20 of them. And they're all kind of slowly walking the stairs, some lying on the stairs.
Okay.
Freshly animated relatively, but a lot of them are pretty gory and the smell.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to check the fun shop door, and it's open. They're kind of just straight up shutters that are open all the time. So you slip into there. Chris, are you following?
Yeah, I would wait till it's like, if he gets there and he can wave me along. If not,
Okay.
I'll just go.
So do you want to do that or do a line?
I just want to make sure the room is safe first. I just take a peek in and look around.
Perfect. So you peek and look around. You see the rows of ornaments and postcards and things like that. And you kind of take a quick look and you listen for a second. Do a quick roll for your listening. We're going to call that. I don't know. I guess we'll call it just mental.
Mental.
Sure. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll just roll. There's not going to be any negatives. Let's just roll
Sure.
two positives.
Okay. All right. So let's see. One,
We'll
two.
do it logic.
Roll.
We're good. Both succeed.
Okay.
So you do a little scouting ahead, and you do hear something. Now, in the fun shop that you're looking down the long hallway of, there is a sort of central kiosk right around here, where a cashier would stand. It is a rounded kiosk with no apparent open entrance, but you hear a slight moaning coming from it.
Okay. Does the shelves and the clothes racks, are they like thrown to the floor, or is the shop still in relatively good order?
Surprisingly, relatively good order.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to gesture for Chris and Rosa to come in.
Okay. So again, you send the gesture to Chris. And Chris?
Yep. That's okay. Let's go. I tell Rosa and Emmanuel to follow.
Okay. So the three of them follow suit, and you're all now sitting in the fun shop amongst the eerie-looking teddy bears and,
Okay.
and ornaments.
So I'm gonna gesture for them to stay, and I'm gonna go up to the cashier with my guitar ready.
Okay. So you slowly creep up to the rounded kiosk, listening for every little sound you can hear about movement and things like that. As you're walking up, the front
Crouching. Sorry.
as you crouch up.
Yeah.
The front windows of the fun shop show you the stairs that you just passed and the creatures on it, and they're still looking relatively up. But you do realize that if you're making any sudden noise, it might draw their attention.
I
Sorry.
would not let Justin go by himself.
Okay.
Okay.
So he takes about 10 steps.
There's a zombie. Doesn't make sense to send one person, so I would, as he goes, I kind of would go and try to flank or whatever from a different angle.
Perfect.
Yep,
So
I'm cool with that.
yeah. So he's up about 5 feet maybe from it, and you're kind of hugging the back wall, walking towards it. And as you kind of approach it, Justin, you now would have to lean over the counter if you wanted to see it. Chris is still about 3 feet from getting to the counter.
I lean over the counter. Are there any mirrors around, like eyeglass, like glasses?
Yes, but
Mirrors?
none. Oh, like little. There are eyeglasses, but I don't think they'd be reflective enough to try to see.
No. But you'd wear the eyeglasses and then you'd look at the mirror to see how they look on you. It's what every.
Yes, but they'd be
Glasses rack.
attached to like a large kiosk, maybe about 3 feet back. If you'd like, you can grab it.
No. I'm not gonna grab it. Okay, I'm just gonna look over.
Okay, so as you're doing that, Chris is approaching from the wall. He's not quite there yet.
Okay,
Chris,
no,
are you-
I'll wait for Chris.
Okay, so Chris approaches, and from Chris's angle, because he's a little more north or to the wall than you, he can actually see that, like most countertops, there is a space where a portion of the desk would lift up for the person to walk in and then set back down. So he can actually see something lying on the ground, and based on his angle, he sees that a zombie is kind of crouched on the other side of the counter you were just about to peek over.
I'm gonna try to get the attention of the zombie.
Okay, how?
I'll just go. I'll take my pipe and tap it on something, on like one of the racks that are nearby, and just tap it to see if it reacts.
Okay, very softly.
Starting out soft, yeah. See what happens.
Okay, so you go.
Yep.
And there's no real, doesn't stir.
Right, I do it a little louder. Ting ting
Okay.
ting
Ting, 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 ting. It doesn't really stir. It continues crouched. In fact, it starts creeping up towards Justin.
Oh, so okay, yeah. So it is that live. So then I say, Justin, wait.
Okay, so then it hears you and kind of goes. Brr.
Okay, I said that there's one on the other side of the counter.
Okay, so it's kind of on its knees and it starts walking, like crawling underneath the counter towards you through that large open space.
All right. So then I
How does the mechanism for the door open work? Does it
Just
go up?
lifts. Yeah,
It lifts.
just lifts up.
And does it touch the ground, or is it just the top part?
No, just the top part. So
Okay.
basically, it's about yay high. And goes straight.
so I say, Justin, I'm gonna bait it out. You just bash it when it comes out.
Okay. All right. So I got to move over to Chris's side then.
I say, come and get some. And I stand up in front of the thing.
Come and get some, or come get some.
Come get some sounds better.
Okay.
Yeah. How
I
loud
go
do you say it?
Loud enough that the people in the room would hear it, but not loud enough that anyone else outside of the room would hear it. I say,
Okay.
like, come and get
Specific
some.
level. That's a specific level of
Well, like,
sound.
I would say it loud enough as if I was talking to him. I say, come and get some.
All right, let's do this. Let's do a
Yeah.
social. Let's do a social roll.
I have to do a social roll with a zombie?
Well, because I want to see what the negative is going to be.
Sure. What am I rolling here?
We'll say it will be. The success doesn't really matter, so I'm going to say 3 successes and 1 negative die.
Okay. So.
Perfect. Okay, so your negative die cancels out. So you say it at the perfect tone. You say it just loud enough for the people in the room to hear, but nothing outside the room to hear. You are the king of the audio. You're like, come get some. Anyway, so the thing turns to you, and are you standing up? Are you still crouched?
I'm standing up. I'm ready. I have my pole ready to just bash it on its head.
Perfect. So it stands up, and it's pretty dumb from what you can tell. I mean, you guys have assessed that these things are undead, but you haven't really assessed their intelligence level. But this thing is dumb as an ox, and it actually is kind of halfway out of its little cubbyhole when it stands up. So it starts lifting the door with its head, and the door kind of, or the counter kind of gets to about yay high as it stands up.
Okay. Am I there ready with my guitar?
Yeah.
Okay. Chris, are you attacking it?
No, I'm waiting for it to come out.
Okay.
In. Well, that
I'm
way you
going-
can come up behind it and attack it, but whatever.
I'm gonna grab a teddy bear and put it under the counter flap.
I don't think you'd have time to do that. You can do that, but she's going to continue walking out. She'll be out of the counter by the time you get that.
Yep, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna focus because if that thing falls down, it's gonna make a huge slap.
Okay. You're
Right?
close enough that you could just stop it. Like you could just
Yeah.
crack
Okay.
it
I
and
can just
stop.
stop it then.
Yeah. Perfect. So it kind of fully stands up and it flips the door open and it comes and you just catch it right in time and set it down really closely. But it does get a whiff of you kind of moving and jerks its head towards you as it's now stand up and shambling.
All right, I take that. If I see that happen, I would run up and bash it in the head.
Okay. So you run up and you go to bash. Let's roll some attack, dexterity. So you do not have any features that would benefit, but you need a 3 or under. So let's roll 1 success because you're attacking it. We're going to give a bonus success because Justin's there to help you for moral and pretty much every sort of support he could offer. It would be a benefit to you. And how are you? And how are you going to do it? You just going to smack in the head with your pole?
I mean, the pole's not sharp, so I can't. I'm just gonna bash it in like the back of the neck, as hard as I can, like a baseball bat swing to the neck.
Okay, so then we're just going to say two successes. I am going to make you roll a negative because if it doesn't succeed, then you're going to miss and you might make some sounds. So let's see what happens.
Is that a total of 5 successes because it's a physical trait? Is that how that
5
works?
successes. Sorry?
How does it work? Do I roll just 2 or do I get 5 because I add my physical or no?
No, because your physical is what we're rolling. So you're going to be rolling a total of 3 die. 2 of them are your success die. And 1. So what you've rolled right now, you're not going to have any negative because that negative 4 is going to cancel out the positive 4.
Right.
But because your 5 does not succeed, you're going to miss. So you go swinging for its head. But you do not make contact, but it doesn't hit anything else. So you're not making any other sound. You just kind of right by it.
Right.
Justin.
Okay, is he still standing at the flap?
It's past the flap now.
He's past the flap?
Yeah.
Looking at you.
Okay, so where is Chris in relation? Can I take a swing at him with my guitar?
Yeah.
You know what? No, I'm going to bend down and I'm going to grab his legs and try to pull his legs out from under him.
Sure.
So I'm going to put my guitar down for a second.
Perfect. So we're going to give you, again, a bonus for doing the attack, or a dice for doing the attack, a bonus for Chris being there helping, and I will give you a bonus for being creative, because that is a nice silent way of trying to kill someone.
Okay. Sure.
And then we're going to roll the same negative, so 1 negative die based on sound, in case you knock it over and it goes, ugh.
Okay, so you said 4 for
3.
positive?
So we're going to roll 3 positive die and circle them.
Okay, so 1.
Ooh.
Okay, and this is for physical? Dexterity?
Yeah. And we only need, and then 1 negative die.
Okay. Roll.
Did it roll?
Yep. It's a 2.
Weird, it's not showing up for me. Oh, maybe, there it goes, no? Weird.
Yeah, it's a 2.
Weird. Okay, anyway, so the ones succeed. So not only do you get 1 success, you get a second success because you...
And it's dexterity, right?
And it is dexterity. And what's your
So
dexterity?
the 4, it's 4.
Oh, perfect. So 3 successes. So, okay. You connect with this thing, not only by grabbing its legs and pulling out from under it, but its head falls right back on the counter that you just opened, the corner piece, and it cracks the skull, and you can actually hear the blood hit the floor at the level it cracked the skull open like a fucking coconut. However, when you do so, it lets out a deafening moan, just a...
Okay, nothing I can do about that.
And you hear a shuffling down the stairs as the one left at the bottom of the stairs turns back around towards the fun shop.
Okay, so, yeah. So whistle to them.
Okay, the whistle brings even more... No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Okay, so you guys continue on now, probably at a quicker pace.
Well, just quickly before we leave, are there any marbles just sitting around?
Sure. I think that'd be fun. Actually, let's do a quick.
Yeah,
Let's do a quick roll. If you get a 4, 5 or under, there's going to be marbles at a easily reachable.
4.
Perfect. Okay, so yeah, there are. And so as you're slipping out the back door, it is you pick them up and you grab a little bit.
Okay.
And what did you say, Chris? Sorry.
I was just saying if there wasn't, there'd be like necklaces with beads on it.
Yes. Yeah, either of those would be fine. So you guys continue out, and you're back in the hall. And looking back, you do see 1 or 2 zombies starting to walk in the door that you guys went into the fun shops with. And then you hear it again. Help me! Someone louder now coming from the casino area.
Okay.
Now
So
you can continue along the wall, or you can duck into the sports bar.
I think it makes sense to duck into the sports bar.
Yeah, it's gonna. Well, yeah, I agree.
Okay, so you duck into the sports bar, and you can take a quick look over the counter, and the entire sports bar is vacant. It is deathly empty. And as an added bonus, there's actually a door here that seems to be shut pretty securely.
Okay. So, yeah, we move towards it. Is there anything in the bar that could serve as...
Is there a kitchen area?
Yes, there is a kitchen area.
I look at the hutch for like steak knives or stuff like that. There must be something.
Perfect. Okay, now this door, are you leaving this door open? You
No.
can shut it.
Okay, we shut it, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the beauty thing about a cruise ship like this is you're going to have a lot of areas that can be sealed off. So this door is shut, and you have this door now shut. So, and again, they are not lockable, these ones. I think they would. Well, they would be lockable with keys, but again, thinking on a cruise ship, they wouldn't let civilians be able to lock these doors. So I think,
what about the maintenance guy?
let's ask. Let's see if he can lock the door. That would be a good question. Let's do another roll. Let's say, because he is an average guy, let's do a 3 or under. He has the keys to lock the doors.
Okay. So, no.
No. Okay, so he says, no, I have key, but not this door. So you can shut this door. Which I'm
Can we kind of lock it with the wrench or anything? Like,
typically, stateroom door or these cabin doors are they're basically just like those handles, and there's like a keyhole. There's no.
Okay.
I mean, you might be able to push something, but again, with cruise ships, most things are nailed down.
Yeah.
So not too. So your goal here is probably to stay as quiet as you can.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you guys enter this room and you hear that person yelling again. But I'm going to guess you do a quick search for something that could be useful.
Yeah.
So, Chris, what are you specifically looking for? Steak knives?
big steak knives or anything? You're like, is there a little kitchen area? Maybe I can look in there if there's none in the main area.
Yeah, there is, and you are definitely going to find a knife. It is a knife that they use to cut limes and things like that. So it's sharp. It's not very sturdy, though.
Okay.
But it's definitely going to do the trick.
Yeah.
And Justin, are you looking for anything useful?
I grab a Coke.
Why not?
Is there a can of Coke?
Yeah, have a Coke, eh? Why not?
Yeah.
Yes, you grab your can of Coke, but it's warm.
Oh no!
I'm an evil genius.
I run into the crowd of zombies and say, "Take me now."
What's the point of life?
I stick it in the refrigerator and wait for it to cool.
I'm just kidding. It's ice cold.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so
Too cold.
so you see Rosa. Actually, she kind of, I don't know, what would she do? She probably grabs something too. I mean, she had a pair of scissors. Maybe she. Oh, you know what she does? She takes off her fucking high heel shoes, probably.
Oh, nice.
She takes
Good
those
call.
off.
Are
No,
there
she
any?
breaks the things off them, the stilettos or whatever.
Good. Okay. All right. Just yeah. So she's not going around barefoot.
Exactly. And Emmanuel goes over and checks the phone, and he's like, and he looks at you, and he's like, nothing. And again, both of them stop as they hear that, "Help me!" Again, as you all kind of turn towards the door, and Emmanuel and Rose rush over to that door facing the casino.
Okay. And I say to Chris, well, I mean, I don't think there's any point getting to the PA now and telling people to go to their rooms. It seems this thing has spread very quickly.
We still need to get there to get a distress signal out. If we just keep waiting, we're going to die eventually.
Yeah, that's true.
Either that or we get on a life raft and we try to put as much supplies on it as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now in the regards to spreading this very quickly, yes, it has spread very quickly, but think of the areas you've been seeing it in. They're public areas where people are constantly, meaning that the spread could be relatively quick. Cabins are easily lockable, and most of the time the place most people would go. So if you guys sit, and again, you probably would logic this out a little bit, you could probably guess that 70, maybe 60% of the ship is probably still relatively unaffected.
Okay.
But anyway, so you kind of come over to this door, and Rosa opens it a peek to kind of take a look out. And what you see is a young boy standing on top of a machine, a very large, $1 million winner machine, and he's kind of just screaming out, "Help me!" And there's a sea of zombies around him.
Okay. So I guess is there any like rope in the bar or even string or something?
If you give me a reason why there'd be string there, I'll let you have it, but I can't think of a reason why they'd have string in the bar.
No, that's okay. I take a bottle,
Okay.
like a whiskey bottle or something.
Yeah.
Okay. And how many zombies are surrounding him?
Guessing you'd probably say, maybe like 15 or 20.
Okay. Is there a lighter there? In the bar?
Trying to make a Molotov cocktail?
Yeah, but we'd need Bacardi 151.
No,
So-
you can use other stuff.
So Emmanuel looks at you because he kind of sees where your head is going with this, and he kind of goes, "No, not on sheep, not on sheep."
That'd be a bad idea. You're gonna make a fire in the.
No air. He's bad.
Yeah. You're right. I don't know what I was thinking.
And Rose is
But,
but she's staring at something out there.
So I run over to Rosa. What do you see?
And she kind of points. She says, I've seen that thing win before. And she's pointing to the center of the casino. And right over here by the impressions bar is a huge, or sorry, not over by, it's the other side. It's over here back in this corner, past Impressionist Boulevard. There is just a huge machine that that's just making noise kind of constantly, just going, and she says, I've seen that thing win before. And when it wins, it makes tons of noise. If we could get that machine to win, we could draw them away from that kid.
It could take hours to make that thing win.
No, but Emmanuel, or she goes, yeah, I know, but all the guys have keys that can access it. There might be a way that Emmanuel can trigger that machine.
It's worth a shot. I mean, but it's
And
right
Chris,
in the middle of
you're staring
everything.
you're looking at that machine, Chris, and you recognize what game it is. And it's that stacky block game. That where they move and you have to hit them.
I can do this. I've won this. I can do this.
She
Give
looks
me a
at
chance.
you and says, "Can you actually do that?"
Yeah, I've won it I've won it twice.
So you all kind of share a look between each other, like, "Are we fucking seriously considering this?"
But they're gonna all run at me if I do it. What's gonna happen? All the zombies are gonna come towards me.
Can I give him a bonus if I like lock hands with him and say, "I know you can do this, Chris. You got this."
Yeah, you
I
can.
crack it.
Yeah.
So Emmanuel peeks back to the back door, which he's kind of hiding by because it's not locked, and he's kind of looking out here, and he's listening to the conversation. He says, "This way seems clear." He says, "If you could win machine, you can loop back around, and we can come out the front door, relatively safe before they get here, and we can get boy."
But won't the people from the fun shop hear it too? And they're right beside the sports bar. We'd be pinned in the middle.
It'd be a risk, yeah. But the zombies wouldn't be coming from the casino floor. They wouldn't be coming towards the sports bar. They would be coming towards the sound of the machine, which means, yeah, there'd be zombies behind you, but your path forward would be clear.
Let's try it.
But it's an unnecessary risk.
It's a worth the gamble.
So you're saying that there are zombies in between us and from our door right now, our current position. There's zombies between us and the machine.
Right now, the only zombies on this floor are all crowded around the screaming kid.
Okay.
So the kid, again, is standing right here, and there are about 20 zombies crowded around him here. So realistically, you guys could come out here and walk along this wall relatively.
Oh, why would we go that way? Why couldn't we go just like under the EA Sports Bar label and then up to Tahiti Casino label?
Yep, you could do all that for sure.
Why don't I just run around the same way, make a bunch of noise, get all the zombies to come my way, then book it the other way, because I can sprint faster than the zombies.
You can, absolutely. Yeah, you can definitely do that too. The only thing with going this way is it would have line of sight, right? If you went this way, you wouldn't have line of sight, is what Emmanuel is probably trying to say. But realistically, it doesn't matter. You don't even need to use the machine. You could just scream a bunch of times.
Yeah, that's true.
But the machine runs for a long time, meaning that if anyone else was to be coming down here, and Rose is telling you this, she's like, the stupid machine runs all night. It doesn't turn off. Now she has an accent again. So if you kept this machine on for a good deal of time, anyone on this floor might not have to deal with zombies as much.
Mm. Okay.
I wouldn't be thinking that.
What's that?
I wouldn't think to do that. I think the best thing we need to do is to get to the PA system and tell people to stay in the room.
But I mean, we should try to save it. Like, we have an option here. We can save this kid. How many zombies did you say there were?
No, we have to save the kid, but we don't have to do it that way.
15, 20, I'd say.
15, 20. Okay. Yeah, maybe you don't want to take the risk?
It doesn't make sense. It just makes more sense to scream and then run around, and you guys get the kid. Then I'll meet you on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you're right.
I think, Justin, you might be faster than me.
I get why he doesn't want to do it now. I don't want to do it. Let the black guy run around and do it.
I don't think
No,
the
I don't
black
know.
guy has anything to do with it. I'm nimble, apparently.
I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty fast.
I think we'd
I'm
both
pretty
be able to do it.
faster than I am. Okay, I'll try.
But so what's the plan? So then, where am I going to run? Where are you going to run? Because we can control this.
Yeah. Can you open up the thing again, Harlan?
Yeah, of course. So you're considering, instead of trying to trigger the machine, you're just going to run around making noise?
I'm going to run around to where the machine roughly is, yell. So have the zombies follow me. Then I'll run back around through the opening right of the cherry on top, the big opening, and back up to the EA Sports Bar, the far door, and then we'll just book it down. So just because I'm faster, it'll work out.
So Rosa says you don't want to trigger the machine?
No, I don't think that'll. It's a risk not worth it. The risk isn't worth it.
Well, she says the problem with you running is they're just going to keep following you. It's
Yeah,
like
but
it's like Jurassic Park.
Oh, we're going to close the door at the EA Sports Bar behind us. Like when I get through the door, maybe you guys can barricade it.
There's nothing to barricade with.
The other issue is, and she's going to say it without an accent, she says, the other issue is if they're chasing us, we might not be able to save the kid because they're just going to keep coming if that kid takes some time to get down.
Not to mention that maybe not all of them are going to follow you.
Fair enough.
Even if there's 2 or 3 that stay behind with the kid. No.
Okay, so here's what we do then. If only 2 or 3 stay behind with the kid, you guys kill those 2 or 3, and then I'll meet up with you.
I think, okay, what do you think about this? We try the machine. If it doesn't work, then we can always fall back to your plan.
Okay. Do you have any money on you?
There might be money at...
Does anyone have any change for my life?
There's probably going to be money at the counter.
In the bar, yeah, there definitely
Yeah,
is.
so I open the register. Or there's a tip jar, for sure. Well, it depends if they ran out.
Oh, no, they probably have it on cards.
Yeah, it'd all be on cards. But I'm going to say there would be some money.
But there would be cards there, maybe, too.
There might be cards right in the casino.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Panicking and running.
Okay.
I would have a card. I would have been gambling already.
Oh, yeah, you would have your own cards.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Let's rack up our credit.
All right.
That'd be so funny if we got charged for it after, too.
But you had zombies on your cruise. You know what? It doesn't matter, okay? The
Okay.
rules don't apply to everyone.
So here's what I think is a good plan, okay? Can you open the thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on it.
Okay, so Chris, run to the machine. Which machine did you say it was, Harlan?
Right here.
Okay, so what I will do, I will run right above the T and the I of Tahiti Casino, okay? I will go with you, Chris, whichever way you think is best. If you think you want to go the cherry on top route or the Tahiti Casino route, following the north wall.
No, the Tahiti Casino route makes sense.
Okay, so I'll stay like right against this wall or whatever this is at the T and the I, and then you go over, and that way I can watch you from all 3 angles except for the Professionist Street Boulevard angle.
Impressionist.
Or Impressionist.
Okay.
How does that sound? And then we'll leave...
So when they start running at us, which way are we going to go?
Well, yeah...
And what makes you think they're going to go to the noise rather than us?
And Rosa says
Because
the
the-
noise is very loud.
Maybe they go for sound rather than... what did that guy's eyes look like that you saw? What did they look like?
They were disgusting. They look like the worst cataracts you've ever seen, and they're black and foggy.
Okay, so if they're cataracts, maybe they can't see at all. Maybe they rely on sound.
Fair enough.
Breath, maybe heat, I don't know. But sound. It's worth a shot. So would Rosa and Manuel be able to see me from that location?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they would.
If I waved a hand out?
Yeah, and if they kept
Sit on
the door open just a smidge.
Okay, so here's what
Let's
I'm
try it.
thinking.
Let's do it.
Let's try it. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we'll meet back in the EA Sports Bar. We'll try to lead them to the top of Cherry on Top, and then we'll meet back in the sports bar, and hopefully maybe a few of them will try to follow us in there, and then we'll make our way down.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay. So Chris and I, we move together. You lead the way.
Okay.
So you guys move out to this area. Chris goes to the machine. And again, amongst the other sounds in the casino, the machine's pinging is almost indecipherable. The zombies aren't really noticing you. Again, because the kid making eye contact with Justin was like, hey, help me, help me, help me.
And I gesture for him to be quiet, and I put a hand up, and I like do like the clock gesture that I thumbs up at.
Your time is over. You're dead. No, okay, so Chris.
Yeah.
Go to www.blockus.com and beat 311. No, I'm just kidding. Could you imagine? That'd be funny. No, okay, so roll a... Yeah, except we'd be here for an hour watching you try to beat it.
Did you actually try that? Did you actually look it up?
No, I was just kidding. I didn't have any of this planned. Okay, let's do what the dexterity it would be.
Okay, so how many?
Okay, so I'm gonna give you one for trying. I'm gonna give you.
I've done it before.
Let me do them all. I'm gonna give you one for Justin's bonus. I'm gonna give you one for having played the game before. And I'm going to give you one because I want to see what happens. However, I'm going to give you a negative because the zombies are right there and any sort of failure sound is going to be bad. And I'm going to give you another negative because I think it would be too overpowered if I give you 4 positives, only 1 negative. So, let's go with that.
Well, there's also the odds of it.
Yes.
Losing,
okay,
right?
So we're good so far.
And what's this against? Dexterity or?
This is dexterity, which is 3. Okay, so one of those 3s cancels out that 3 of the negative, so you can cross those 2 out. Perfect. Now, you have 2 successes. So, because you need 3 successes to win the game... No, I'm just kidding. So, you're sitting there, sweating as you're pressing the buttons, just that. And for people who don't know, this is the game that lines up every time you click the button, and you have to get the things to get the top.
And like 2 blocks have already fallen, so I'm down to the last piece.
Exactly, you're down to the last piece, and it's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And just as about you to press it, you hear a sound from behind you.
Am I not looking? I'm watching.
You are looking, and you've been trying to get his attention for the past 2 seconds, but he is so into the game. So do you say something to get his attention, or do you wait until he makes the sound himself?
I run and try to stop whatever is. It's a zombie, right?
Yeah.
How far is it?
Okay, so before he gets to touch that last button, you kind of tackle him a bit. Well, not tackle him, but you grab him and push him. And
not Chris. Not Chris.
Oh, you go for the zombie?
Yeah.
You don't even let Chris know there's a zombie there.
I try to ram the zombie. I let him keep his focus.
Okay, fair enough. So Chris is still in the zone, man, and you go right up behind him and.
No. I just go to push him over, just like knock him over. I'm not using my guitar. Like I'm just
shoving it.
Yeah, like I can even like use my guitar to poke him, but I'm just trying to just like knock him off his feet.
So you're gonna walk over or you're gonna run over and you're gonna push him.
Yes.
Okay, let's try it. Physical.
Okay.
We'll do
Dexterity.
Physical. Yeah, we're gonna do 1 for the try, 1 because he's bonusing, because Chris is near you. I'm gonna say he's giving you're protecting him. You know, he's your blood. You know.
Okay. And do I get a nimble bonus, or is this not really nimble? This is more.
No, I would say this is not nimble. Nimble to me is like, par example, you doing this machine probably would be nimble. This would be a nimble bonus, but it would have been.
Really?
Well, it would have been the other way because Chris has done it before. That's his bonus. So.
Okay. And when am I going to get a negative for uncoordinated?
Probably right now, actually, because this would be one that would have to be a fairly coordinated attack if you're trying to push him. So let's say it's going to be 2 positives, 1 for a hit, or 1 for doing it, and 1 for being near him, but it's going to be 2 negatives. 1 for the fact that it's a negative, and 1 for the fact that you're uncoordinated.
Do I get a positive because he doesn't see me?
I'm going to say he sees you. Yeah, you're running at him. You're basically like...
It's happening really fast, though. It's like a surprise attack.
Oh yeah, but I think he's
Okay.
he's pretty aware of you. I think it's going to be even Stevens.
All right. So rolling for the 2.
Hold on to your butts.
No shit.
That's not good. All right.
All right. And I'll roll the last one. No dice.
Okay, it's actually 2 negatives, so you got 1 more negative.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 for not doing it, 1 for uncoordinated.
Okay.
So that's good. So that cancels out. Okay, so you do not succeed, and unfortunately, you get a negative. So you go to get this guy, but unfortunately, you're a bit uncoordinated. And as you get about halfway there, I'm going to say, well, put it this way. What I'm going to have you do is you're going to miss and you're going to tumble yourself.
Okay.
So you can describe it however you'd like.
Okay, so I'm running, and the guitar, I realize, as I'm holding it, is gonna bang off of a machine. So I flip, like I try to like steer, but it looks like I'm gonna go into Chris. So then I steer back and I like trip, and I fall on the ground. And I fall, and I'm like on my back, and the zombie is above me, back here. But I have my guitar in my hands.
Yes. However, you got a choice right now.
Okay.
The zombie is above you, but it's a foot away from Chris, and Chris is still in the zone. So he has not noticed it yet. He has heard it, but that's at his time frame's a little off whack. So he heard it right before whatever your action is. So you can either call to him and warn him, or you can see what happens.
Okay. No, I'm gonna say, Chris, look out.
Okay. So Chris, you can react to it and try to, or if you press it, you're gonna get it for sure. You're gonna save the machine, or you can react to his turn.
I'm going to react to the turn.
You're gonna react to the turn?
Yeah, because I mean, yes, for sure, I'm going to react to his turn.
Okay, perfect. So you react to his turn, and there's a zombie basically on you, like just seconds away from your milliseconds.
I'm going to take my knife out and try to jab it in the side of his head.
Perfect. Let's roll physical. And let's do, I guess, dexterity again. Well, it would be defense, right? No, it would be attack. So yeah, dexterity.
How many want me to roll?
Let's do 1 for the attack, 1 because Justin's there, and we're going to say it's going to be an additional 1 because you reacted to Justin. Whereas normally I would not have given you an additional 1 because you wouldn't have reacted. But you would have succeeded the game, so that's the rub. Okay, and we're going to say it's going to be 1 negative because of a zombie attacking you. And yeah, we'll just say 1 negative, actually.
So I had a success.
Okay, so you shove the thing right up through the bottom of the thing, and it's long enough that you can just feel it crickle at the bottom of that brain. But you're going to take a stress because, again, the smell and the face of it right in your fucking face is like, oh my god. So take a stress. And actually, Justin, take a stress on when you dived as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's 3 social stresses for me.
Perfect. So you now built up a resistance. Oh no, sorry, that would be a physical stress, not a social stress.
Okay.
So tap that off to physical. Justin's, yours would have been a physical. So.
Yeah.
So the thing just kind of and just kind of.
Yeah, I looked at Justin and say thank you, and then I pressed the button.
Okay.
Without even looking.
Without even looking. I like it. No. He said it. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. So basically we're doing a die roll. Now, if I wanted to be really mean, I'd say it's just gonna be like a 2 and a 6 die roll. But let's say roll a 1d4, and I have a number in mind. So let's see what happens. I'll even write it down so you know I'm not cheating.
Ready?
Go for it.
You written it down?
I've written it down. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
So, without even looking, you, in the most badass move of your life, you're just like...
I just killed a zombie.
You kill it, you throw it over, you go, thank you, Justin. And the alarm rings out. Echoes across the entire thing, and immediately the zombies turn.
Okay, let's stick to the plan. Why don't we just run back? Oh yeah, okay, so we run around and we try to bait them up to the top, the cherry top.
Okay, so you come up this way, yeah?
Actually, we don't need to bait them. Yeah,
No,
we go up that way.
Yeah, by the time you've gotten here, they're starting to crowd around here, not even realizing you had run off the scene.
Now, there might be zombies this way because there was that dude. So
I was gonna say you do see one or two starting to walk down this way, coming to the this side to the right side.
Okay.
yeah, let's go.
Okay, so you book it back into the sports bar through this entrance.
Yep.
Yes, yeah.
Perfect. So Emmanuel's standing on the other side of the door, not letting you in. No, I'm just kidding. He's a friend by now, so he knows. You guys come in, he shuts the door behind you, and you guys are back at this door. Rosa wiping a bead of sweat. She looks at you, Chris, and says, "That was very sexy."
I go like this. Sorry.
Okay, so you guys are looking at this door. Rosa now has it pretty much open, and the kid is climbing down this right here because there are no more zombies around him. Or sorry, I'm not screen sharing. But he's climbing down right in here in the center of the room.
Okay, and all the zombies are gone, eh?
Yeah, they're all walking over here or over here.
Okay, so I gesture for I can say let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
So the four of you kind of take up a stance, walking through the casino.
Low crouch run, slow
Yeah.
crouch jog, sort of thing.
Now these are relatively tall machines, so they're tough
Yeah.
to see behind.
Okay, and so I'll get to there, we're right there, about there, hiding behind that machine,
Perfect.
and I try to get the kid's attention.
Okay. And the kid just kind of shakes his head at you, really scared. He goes, "No."
No, I gesture for him to come. Can I do a social roll?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so do I get +1 for likable, +2?
Let's
'cause
do
Chris is with
definitely
me?
+1 likable, and we're going to do +1 because of the act, and we'll do +1 because Chris is with you. What are you doing, Chris? You giving him something like a...
+1 because we saved his life, maybe?
Yeah, what did I win on the machine?
Yeah,
It's
you
fine.
want an iPod. Go back and get your iPod Nano.
Where is it?
No.
Waiting for like the machine to go over.
I'm also saying, come on.
I gotta wait. Okay, so we're gonna give you 3 positives. So likable, the act, and then Chris helping you. And we're not going to do any negatives because there's no negatives here.
All right, so we got 2 successes.
So success. So you're telling him, and you're trying to be social, and you're saying like, come over here. But then it dawns on you, he's not shaking his head to you. He's looking on the other side of what you are crouched against.
Oh.
He's shaking his head here. And then you realize there is a very soft, like, kind of moving next to you on the other side of this.
Okay.
Let's run.
Yeah, let's run. Let's just book it. So I step out with my guitar, like ready to swing at him, and I gesture for everybody else to go behind me.
Perfect. So are you still going towards the kid, or just hoping the kid keeps up?
Chris,
Uh,
I'm gonna follow you guys.
well, the kid has to come with us. I'm not going to go without the kid.
So you're going to run to the kid and then out.
No, I point to the kid. I show him, like, I point where we're going to run.
Okay. So he kind of nods.
Yeah, I say, me, you, we're going there.
Okay. Perfect. So,
See if he runs with us.
all right. So you book it, and Justin, as you lean out, kind of keeping your guitar, and you do see there is a zombie on the ground, but it looks like it fell out of like a wheelchair. It's got only like 2. It's pretty much overweight Midwestern zombie fare, and it's kind of like just kind of slowly stepping across the ground.
Okay, so I do the 2 like back step dramatic, like I'm not gonna mess with you, and I just follow them out.
Perfect. So the 3 of you continue into the area next to the impressions bar, and you are set in a small area of elevators, which are all these purple things. But there is a set of stairs right next to you.
Stairs.
Stairs.
Yeah, you never take the elevator.
So
No.
without even thinking, Rosa...
Wait, hold. So Rosa goes for the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So she's just booking up the stairs.
Okay, so I follow her.
Okay.
Rosa, damn it.
Everyone else going up?
Yeah, is the kid with us?
Yeah, the kids are behind you.
Okay,
Yeah, so-
I'm gonna take up the rear and make sure nobody comes behind.
Okay. So you guys start walking up the stairs, and as you start walking up into...
I think Chris was gonna do something with the kid.
Oh, Chris,
No,
what are
that's
you gonna
fine. It's fine.
Okay.
do? You sure?
Yeah, just making sure the kid is with us.
Oh, yeah, he is, for sure. Okay, and he kind of nods to you guys, too, and he's like, thank you. And he's maybe 13. I mean, he's a younger kid. wearing the backwards hats, listening to Jay-Z. Is that what kids do? I don't know. Anyway, so you start heading up the stairs, and you're on the 6th floor, and it's relatively quiet up here. It doesn't seem to be too busy.
Nice.
Okay, so
Mind you, there's long halls, so you might not be able to hear what's going on, but.
Okay, so I ask the kid, do you know what room are you?
The kid, he says,
Yeah.
seven. I don't know, I'm like 7,000s or something, and he can't use
Okay.
his room key, and it says 7 something.
Okay, and what room is Chris and I?
You guys both are in the 700s as well, 7,000s as well.
Okay, all right. So if we can get up to the 7,000s, that would be great. If we could get to our rooms.
Yeah, you got one more flight up.
Let's do it. We just go all the way
Okay.
up.
Yep, so you're on another flight up. So you arrive on your level, and you guys are actually 7,325.
Okay, so I say to Chris, okay, so we've got 2 options now. We could take the stairs to the 8,000s, or we could try to climb up our balcony. Because cruise ships, especially at this point, the balconies are staggered. And last time I was on a cruise ship, I thought it would be pretty easy to actually climb up to the people above me's room.
Why? It didn't seem too hard to go up a flight of stairs. Why don't we just try that again?
Just letting you know that that's an option.
All right, I'll consider it. All right, I go up another flight of stairs.
Okay, now you do know that because you guys were in your room earlier, that your rooms do have significantly better weapons than what you currently have. A half-broken guitar and a pipe.
All right.
Not even a good pipe, like
A half-broken guitar
and a pipe.
in
And a knife.
our room.
No, I said better than what you currently have,
Oh,
which is a
I
half-broken guitar.
Okay.
Yeah, replace your fully functional guitar with a half-broken one in your room. So much better.
I was
No,
like,
no,
what
no.
the
But I'm
hell
saying,
happens to those?
like realistically, when you think about it, how long is a guitar going to last before it smashes? You hit a guy once with that, maybe one more time, and then the neck's going to break.
I haven't hit a single guy with it yet.
You hit
But
the
yeah,
guy-
that's true.
I thought you hit the kiosk person.
Nope. I tripped him.
Fair enough. Then let's just say when you fell, it got a little
Okay.
damaged. Point is,
Fair
it's
enough.
not optimal.
Okay.
What? I don't know what weapons we have in our room, but apparently they're better than my knives.
Well, that's going to be on you. I mean, realistically, what would you find as a better weapon? I'm totally open to give you guys something. What would you find in your room that you think would be more useful than a very weak pipe?
Baseball bat from Osei Seiko.
Would you be bringing that on a cruise ship?
No, I bought it. I bought it in port. It's a replica.
Did you
Really
bring that on our last cruise? Okay.
I bought a Mayan spear when we went to the
No.
pyramid.
No. But you know what? Okay, if you bought, say, an ornate pocket knife or something from like I bought one when I was in Alaska. To me, that's a totally legit thing. A baseball bat,
No,
But I have a knife already.
yeah, but your knife is like, and I'm talking like a $2 like lime cutting knife. That's not, it doesn't proper ridges. Not to mention it, you just stabbed in a zombie, and it's probably close to being broken anyway.
What would we have in our rooms? I feel like the guitar would be better than anything I'd have on a cruise.
I just think the guitar is going to do a lot of damage, but but probably the next time you use it, the first time you use it, it's going to break.
Wait
And
a second.
you would know that too.
Wait a second, Harlan. Do you want us to go to our room because there's a cake in there waiting for us, and if we go inside...
Too soon, Justin. Too soon. Too soon, man.
Sorry, Bob.
That's a long story from cruising together. Anyway, no, but I'm going to give you a
Wait,
secondary.
no, but I thought you guys were going to the bar.
No, but I'm going to get shut up. But I'm going to give you a secondary of why you might want to go to your room.
Okay.
When you guys checked in, there was a young girl staying with her dad next door to you.
Okay.
And you kind of gave her a little wave, and she was a sweetheart. And when you hit your floor, totally up to you, but when you do hit your floor, you do remember her, and she was maybe about 8 or 9. She's a young kid.
We could just knock on her door and say, stay in.
Yeah,
We can do that with as many doors as we want.
that's true. That's true.
You can do it all once you get to the PA.
But the one thing that we do need to consider is that we are kind of fighting the clock here, because the longer we take, the longer it spreads, and the faster it moves upstairs. Right?
Yeah. Zombies stink, though.
Okay, but you know what? you know, we didn't leave the kid in the casino. We might as well just knock on the door. And I gotta take a pee, too. So I mean, we might as well. I do. What? You got a problem with that? I might as well do it with civilization. I'm trying to be civilized here. We got well.
Pee in the corner.
You kept feeding me drinks earlier. They weren't alcoholic though. That's why I'm not drunk right now. Don't break the seal.
Oh, you guys are a little drunk. I mean, this is all basically a fantasy sequence.
But that's kind of like a good drunk right now. If we weren't drunk, I feel like we would be taking more stress.
It's like
the
the people
buzz going on.
Yeah, the guy who survived the Titanic was like really drunk, and that's why he didn't feel the cold and he didn't panic. That actually happened.
That's awesome.
All right.
Okay,
let's
so
go.
you want to go to our room?
Yep. You go to the room to pee. I'll knock on the neighbor's door to warn her.
Okay. All right.
Perfect.
So I actually do have to pee, so.
Okay. You know what? I do too. So let's take a quick pee break.
All right.
Well, I don't have to pee, but at the same time I feel left out, so I'm going to try.
And we're back. And Chris is nowhere to be found. I guess he got bored of waiting for us, so he decided to go. Chris left.
I had to go just in case.
I guess. I don't know.
See, yeah, he didn't want to go to the washroom. He wanted to hold it.
I kind of pictured him like Garth in Wayne's World, where everyone leaves and he's like, I like stuff, and then he just kind of walks over the frame. Is that what you did, Chris? I'll watch this later.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do, so I was like, I guess I'll try it.
Did you say anything fun at least?
No. I was thinking I was going to bring up like Pent and if he's a bad guy and you guys should tweet us about it. And...
Oh, do it. You should have.
Actually, one thing I want to quickly plug is the Dragon Age character creation. I'm going to be starting a campaign tomorrow, Dragon Age Inquisition, because I played like, I don't know, a few hours into it, and I got bored of my character, so I wanted to try something completely different, so we're letting the community build the character, and we're going to have links for that. We'll tweet a link later tonight, and yeah, check it out. It'll be on Reddit. All right.
Coolio. You only played 8 hours of the Inquisition campaign?
Not very long.
Really?
Only about 8 hours. Yeah, I got to, spoiler alert, I got to the French place. And then I stopped right after that. I met Sarah.
Val Royale or whatever?
Val Royale, yeah. And I met Sarah, the archer. That was it.
You know what's funny? I've played like 10 hours, and I've done so many other things, except I haven't gone there yet.
Yeah,
like,
that's the way, yeah, I did it too.
You're like supposed to have power at like 4 or 5 to get there. I had 19 power before I haven't even gone there yet. I'm like, fuck it, I'll do everything else in the world, and then I'll go to my next quest, so...
Yeah, the hills, right, or whatever they're called.
I did a bunch of stuff, yeah. Anyway, all right, where's Chris gone? Oh, he's gone again. Anyways, I'm just going to keep playing. He'll catch up. So, you guys wanted to check out your room at the insistence of me. Oh, no, you wanted to check out the next door neighbor. Okay, so
yeah.
You walk over to their door, and it's right next to you. And again, what you remember of this was a young girl.
Sorry, while I was in my room, I want to go to the room.
Yeah.
And I ask after I take my pee, a thought comes to me while I'm doing my business, and afterwards I go up to Manuel and I say, "Can I borrow your wrench?"
And he says, "Yeah."
So I take the wrench, I go into the bathroom again, and I go under the sink, where there is a heavy metal pipe that if you unscrew it, it might serve as a better weapon. It's
Oh,
like
is there under the sink?
thick industrial piping. Yeah.
No, I like it. Let's do it. Okay. So you unscrew that. Water sprays fucking everywhere. No, I'm kidding. No, you know what? I like it. I like the creativity of it. I say let's do it. So you use this wrench, you unscrew it, and you get a nice, thick, heavy piece of pipe.
Sweet.
So you guys head next door, and you knock, and and you wait. And the young girl was maybe 8 or 9, and she's you kind of hear a little shuffling from the other side of the door. And after a few seconds, it opens just a peek, and you see her face.
Okay. I think it was Chris who knocked on her door.
Yeah, was she with her grandfather, was it?
She was with her dad. I mean, he was probably 40 or 35 or 39.
Say, is your dad in? Can I speak with him?
And she immediately recognizes Jess, and she says, "Oh, you're the guy from next door."
Yeah.
She said,
Were you asleep?
yeah, and she's in her pajamas, right? Because it's like at this point probably like 9 or 10 o'clock. And she goes, "Yeah, I was sleeping, and there were noises."
Oh,
And that's the other
okay.
thing I was gonna say, because again, you guys were at a night show, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, people were up and out, and they were kind of dressed, but the majority of people were probably early to bedders, so there could be a great number in their cabin.
Okay. So I tell her, I say, everything's okay, the noises, they're okay. I saw your dad downstairs, and he asked me, because I was coming back up here, he asked me to just check on you and make sure everything was okay, and to tell you that he'd be back in a couple hours and just go to sleep.
So she looks at you with a puzzled look. She says, "But Dad's in the bathroom. He's been in the bathroom forever." And she kind of lets the door go.
I thought she said to Chris that he was gone.
Nope.
No.
Oh, sorry. Forget that then.
Oh, that's fine. Okay. Well, she says,
Can
regardless.
I
She says, "I don't think he's feeling very well. He sounds awful sick."
Well, let's see if I can help him.
Okay. So she's kind of like, "No, I don't think so." And she starts trying to shut the door.
Okay.
I said,
Um,
I try to do a likable role, Justin. Maybe.
yeah, I try to do a likable.
Okay.
And I didn't say those things earlier. I guess I wouldn't have, because I thought he was away for some
That's
reason.
fine. I won't hold it against you.
Okay. So I'm trying to do a likable. I'm going to try to convince her to let us in. And, yeah, Chris, you better be thinking of ideas.
So just to clarify, you're convincing. You're trying to convince.
Justin, you've had some medical training. Maybe you can help him.
Yeah, I could probably check on him.
So you're going to try to convince an 8-year-old girl to let 2 strangers into her cabin room, just to clarify.
Well, I asked the girl. Maybe the girl can help us convince her.
Rosie?
Yes, yeah,
she's
Rosa.
fast. Do you like this girl's costume?
And and the door's like shutting. Like this is if you want to do it, it's going to have to be one of you two, because Rosa and Emmanuel are maybe next door. Maybe they're even in your cabin room. I don't think they're really interested in this.
Just keep the door open. I push it open.
Okay. So go
Sorry.
forceful.
I don't mean to scare you, but we have to look at your dad. We have to get him.
And she does look scared. She's like, "Oh," and she
I
kind of
say-
steps back.
Rosa-
It's okay.
And I knock on the bathroom door.
Okay. Do you want to try to do a likable role for the girl, Justin?
Well, yeah, I think Chris was onto something with Rosa helping her too.
Okay. So then Rosa kind of hears you and kind of walks out and says, "What?"
I say, this little girl is frightened right now. I just want to make sure she feels as safe as possible.
Okay, so she kind of crouches down and comforts her and says, "Hey," and they go sit on the bed together. So Chris, you go up and knock on the door?
Yep.
And you hear, "What are you doing? I'm taking a shit." Now you hear,
Are you all right in there?
and the little girl hears it well. She says, "Daddy, are you all right?"
You know what? Why don't you and Rosa, you can use our room for a little bit. I'll be right in there. I'm just going to take a look at your dad, and I'll be right in there, okay?
And she's like, No. Dad said never to leave my room, especially at night."
Yeah, but you can go with Rosa. Rosa, she look at her. You can talk about the dress. And I say, you know what? Your dad will be fine. I'll be right over there, okay? I said, Rosa, can you take the little girl next door?
If you want to do a charisma roll, you can try to convince her, or you can forcefully do it. Your call.
Well, I'm gonna ask Rosa to try to convince her, but I asked Rosa.
Rosa doesn't have stats. She doesn't roll things. Rosa says, "Look, you got to talk to the girl. I'll babysit her, but I'm not. I don't like kids.
Well,
I don't like kids.
I picked up the little girl. I said, "Boy,
I've had 5 abortions. Okay."
whoa." That was too much information, Rosa.
She's an open book.
So yeah, Rosa, I pick up the little girl and I take her into the other room and I say, Rosa, come with me.
Okay, so you're just gonna force it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you pick up the girl and she starts kicking and screaming and like screaming.
Fine. That's fine.
Okay. So the scream is like echoing down the hall.
Loud.
And as you're carrying her, like someone else opens the door down the hall, and you see an older guy kind of stick his head out and say, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he gets out. Another woman kind of stands at the door, and he starts walking towards you.
Okay, so I go out to help,
Okay.
and I say, "Have you guys been listening at all? Have you heard any noises?"
And he's like clearly kind of in sleepwear, and he's like, "No, what the fuck are you talking about?"
Okay, there is an emergency on the ship right now. We're trying to make it up to the deck. This little girl, we're right next to her in room 73265 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can come in the room too. Just
7325.
out of the hallway.
We need to get out of the hallway because there's a sickness going around. There are people who are sick, and we think her father is sick too, and she doesn't want to leave him, and he's incapacitated. He's unable to tell her to leave himself, even though I know that he would want what's best for her. I know it looks strange, but we're doing everything we can for her, and you can go with us into the other room, and we will tell you everything that's happened. But right now, we need to get out of the hallway.
Okay, so roll for whatever you want to do. Charisma, I guess, would be.
Okay. Okay. So likable. So 1 for likable. How many am I rolling?
So we'll do 1 for the skill, 1 for likable.
Convincing argument.
Chris is there. Well, honesty, I guess, would be a nice one. We'll say 3 positives.
4 of us too. It's not like it's just there's someone who's in a uniform. One of them. It's kind of a weird party.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of like, why would we all be together if there wasn't something going on?
Okay, so let's say 4 positive dice.
Okay.
It is kind of bad that I'm holding her and carrying her.
I was gonna say we're gonna say 1 bad because it's an 8-year-old girl screaming.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll first. Oh wait. Okay,
Well,
sorry. So 1 bad.
Yeah, 1 bad. We'll say, let's see.
1 bad because he's cranky because we woke him up.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe
I'm gonna say it's like 1 bad because he is because again it's the act that's bad. That's a negative. I'm gonna say another negative because she's screaming, like she's making it worse. Like had you guys done it silently, someone might have still said something. I don't know. 2 seems a little easy for this because it does seem pretty. Like if I was that guy and I walked out of my room and someone was doing that. Especially when you're like, look, people are sick and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, there's the side of me that's like, yeah, but the other side is like, are you serious? Like,
Okay, but we can open this up to a discussion. What does he say?
Huh?
Yeah, like why
open
does
this up to a discussion?
Well, no, we're seeing if he buys what you said first.
Okay, but there will be an opportunity to further this discussion, and maybe I can convince him further based on what he says.
I guess we'll see. Who knows?
Okay.
So let's say, let's say two negatives. That seems easy. Let's say 3 negatives. 4
3 negatives.
positives, 3 negatives.
Okay. All right, so I've got 2 successes and 2 fails.
I only see 4 die you rolled.
Yeah, so 4 for the
right.
success.
Yes. Well, they might not be because you might cancel them out accidentally.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So 2 for fail. Okay. So we get a couple canceling out.
Did you roll a 3rd one?
No. So, oh, you
So
did.
that's
roll.
just 2. So
So
that's
roll one more die, Justin.
Okay. Ah, no way.
Okay, so
That's
what
perfect though. They all canceled out.
Everything cancels out. That's so. No, wait. 5 canceled out.
5. Oh, 5 just didn't do it. So it's
No.
a fail.
Okay, so we have. So 4 got canceled out. 6 got canceled out. 2 got canceled out, and you were left with a 5.
Which is not enough.
Okay, perfect. But you didn't have any disadvantages. So you didn't have any negatives to you. You just didn't succeed at convincing him, which
Right.
means I'm going to say based on that he's going to be open to talking. You
Okay.
invited him back to your room. He's not succeeding in buying anything you're saying, but he turns back to his wife and says, "Hold on a second. Stay by the phone if I need to tell you to call someone." And she's like, "Yeah, yeah." And he kind of walks in your cabin room and he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What is going on? Why is that little girl screaming?"
Go
Okay.
check in her room. There's a sick man. It's her dad. We're just trying to look after the little girl and make sure that the dad is okay.
Yeah.
So he walks
So-
into the other room.
I walk with him, and I tell him, I say, okay, just to give you a bit of a background, some very weird stuff has been happening, and I say, don't lose your shit. But have you seen any zombie movies? As ridiculous as that sounds.
Okay, so let's do. So he's like, "Are you fucking serious?" Okay, so yeah, let's do this. Let's just do 2 positives and a negative. Let's do a basic.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Positive, so both good. Oh,
I'll
sorry.
clear it all first. Yeah.
They were both 2s.
Okay, sure. Well, then just
That-
roll for a negative.
All right, that's a 4.
Either way, it's fine. So we're gonna get 2 positive and a negative. Okay.
I'm just setting the scene, okay? Okay,
Yeah.
basically, people are downstairs. I don't know what it is, okay? But people are biting each other. People are killing each other. It's some sort of madness. It's a sickness, okay? There is a man in this bathroom who is our neighbor. We have the key to the other room. You know that we're telling the truth. This man is sick, okay? I don't know what he has. It might just be seasickness, but if he does have whatever is consuming the people downstairs, then we have a moral obligation to protect his daughter from him, because
Okay.
it's what he would want and it's what's right.
Okay. So he looks at you like you're fucking crazy, and he's like, "Do you seriously expect me to believe that?" And then you feel something. The whole ship just kind of shakes, like. And Emmanuel walks into the room, and he says, "The sheep, it's not moving. He stopped."
My question is why we haven't heard a goddamn thing from the fucking captain.
And the guy kind of looks at you. He's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Why does the ship stop?" And he turns to Emmanuel and says, "Why does the ship stop?" And Emmanuel says, I don't know." And you hear kind of screaming a little bit down the hall.
Okay, I say, all right, well, it's up to you, sir. You don't have to believe me, but put it this way. Her father is in the room right here, right now. We can just ask him. We can just ask him if it's okay to bring his daughter, to look after his daughter for him while he's sick.
So Emmanuel looks at you and he's like, "We need to go. We need to go now."
And I turn to this guy. I say, what do you think?
So the guy looks at you, looks at me, and he's like, "What do you mean you need to go now? What the fuck is going on? Hold on." He's like, and he knocks on the door. He's like, "Excuse me, sir, are you okay?" And there's like a behind the door, and he's like, "What?" And he goes to open it, but it's locked.
Okay.
It's his bathroom.
Yeah, good.
Oh, it's locked. And he's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Okay,
He
all right,
walks back into the hall, and he kind of looks towards where the screaming was, and he's like, "Who the fuck just screamed?" And he kind of walks out of your sight. And Emmanuel turns back to you and says, "We need to go."
All
And he
right,
walks to the
let's
other
go.
room.
Let's go.
And he walks to the other room, and he says, and Rosa is in the other room with Chris and the girl, who's now calmed down a little bit. And he goes, "We need to move. The ship stopped." And Rosa kind of looks at him and says, "So what?" He's like,
I'd say, you know what? No, if the ship stops, it could be that they're having engine problems or worse.
and Emmanuel looks at you and he kind of goes white. And he says, "No engine, no power."
Yeah.
And as if someone turned off the fucking lights, everything goes dark. And all you see now is the illuminated sea, just bathed in the moonlight. Just
Well, they'd have emergency lights come on, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they'd have emergency lights.
of course,
Maybe
it
not in
would,
the bedroom.
if this wasn't a zombie apocalypse.
Maybe not in the bedrooms, but in the hallways.
No, but it sounds cool this way, so we're gonna do it this way
Okay.
for now. Anyway, we're gonna stop in about 5 minutes because it's almost 11.
Right.
So let's make some knee-jerk reactions because
Okay.
no one lives through the apocalypse.
I take a handful of gravel
Well, now Emmanuel turns to you and he says, "Look," and he says it in perfect English because he was lying the whole time. And he says, "Look, we can either go to the engine rooms, try to get power back on, or we can wait for the reserve generators, which take 15 minutes to kick in, and then get to the captain's quarters in the PA system. They're on the 8th floor. They're right above us."
I think if the captain doesn't know at this point, he's not going to know. I say we go to a lifeboat. We get some food, we get some supplies, and we get to a lifeboat.
I agree.
There's
Yeah.
no way that a ship like this will just go off. No one's going to come after this ship. So we get to a lifeboat. They'll see what lifeboat's missing. They'll find us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so roll for conversation, or roll for social charisma.
I'm backing him on this.
Okay, so roll. So we're gonna do one for the idea. Won't you just roll like 1,000? No, let's do one for the idea, one for his backing you, one for the roll, one for his backing you, one for the idea because if people have planned, they like the idea, and then we're gonna go.
Let's just do it. I don't need to roll. Let's do this.
No, because I want to see what they decide, and we're gonna roll two negative die, and I'm gonna use them for the 2 characters that are gonna be deciding.
3 successes. And
2 negatives.
but
So
the negatives don't matter? Or they do matter?
they do
cancel each other
matter.
out?
No, only when they're the same number. So right now you have 3 successes and 2 negatives.
So Emmanuel and Rosa decide not to come with us.
Well, but you do have successes. So let's say this. You have to decide which 2 of the 3 of them come with you. Yeah, I like that. The little girl, Emmanuel, or Rosa. One of them will not come with you.
Oh, I have to pick one that can't go with us?
Yeah, one won't, and we can figure out after how. I'm giving you the option, because you rolled success, I'm going to let you pick which 2 live, and then I'm going to fill in the story about which that one will die. Or will not come with you.
Manuel makes sense not to live, but sorry, go on.
Why, though?
Why? Because Manuel was the only one who said we need to get the ship back on. Also, Manuel has a obligation to the ship and to address to his.
Sure, I'll say, Emmanuel, I know you're right, but can you at least show us the way?
To the engines or to the PA?
Neither, to a lifeboat.
Okay, so you're not telling. So he turns to you, and everyone's kind of like, all right, fine, yeah, let's do the lifeboats. So lifeboats are down on the lower decks again, and I think the probably earliest access for the lifeboats would be probably 1 or 2.
This might be a good time to actually do the balcony thing.
Yeah, we can drop down the balcony to balcony 6.
Yeah. That the lights are out.
Yeah, even if we slip, I'm looking at a picture of the cruise ship right now. Even if we slip, there's a chance that we will land on a lifeboat anyways, because they do jut out, seriously.
Yeah. We can lower ourselves down on sheets.
Yeah, exactly. It would be pretty easy between the 2 rooms. So I say, okay, yeah, let's do that. So I
empty the mini bar for the nuts and whatever food there is there. I put it in my backpack that I brought with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I do the same in the girls' room as well. So any extra food that we have there, water bottles, all that stuff, I put in my backpack.
Okay.
And I ask Manuel, okay, when we get to the lifeboats, how do we activate them? How do we drop them off? Or did I go to my
Are you training? Yes, but I don't think they show you how to do it. But either way, he explains it. And basically, it's just like
a lifeboat would have a manual in it.
What's that?
Lifeboat would have a manual.
Oh, but getting it to separate.
Not Emmanuel.
Say Emmanuel. It has Emmanuel in it. But wait. Okay, so you're not telling him that you're planning on leaving him behind, right?
No, it's his choice. We want him to come with us.
Okay.
Is there not going to be enough room? Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
One of those 4-man lifeboats.
Yeah, but either way, you'd still pick him, so that's fine. Okay, so
they hold 25 or 30, don't they?
I know, but I think it'd be cool. So Whatever. It would sound neat. Okay, so you guys kind of go out to your balcony, and the girls are kind of tying stuff together real quick, and the two of you are assessing the situation. And Emmanuel kind of peeks over, and you actually see maybe 6 floors or 5 floors below you is a lifeboat, almost lined up perfectly, and the way the balconies are set up, almost like a zigzag pattern. Whereas if you leaned over the edge of your balcony and lowered yourself down with your full height, your feet would then touch the next balcony, and there would be a way for you to pattern back and forth if you needed to.
Right.
Yeah. There's only 3 floors between us. 2 full floors and then the lifeboat, which are held up high.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. It's relatively short distance to get.
Are we gonna get there or not?
I think I can make the first fall.
Yeah, and I'm gonna lower you down with a sheet, anyways.
Yeah. So I'm gonna double check the knots.
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure they're all tied sturdy. Chris, you
One
do
of
the same.
them wasn't, and you double checked it, and you got it.
Okay. All right.
Stupid
So
little girl.
yeah. Well, I don't really know how to tie knots either, so I get Chris to tie it. And he paid attention in Scouts. Okay. And I say, all right, hold on tight because I may drop down kicking.
Okay, so you kind of go to the edge and lower yourself down, and you're kind of holding the rope as kind of a secure.
Yeah.
But again, your feet touch the next balcony, and you can make it down pretty easily, and you're more
Pass
just
the
guiding
girl
the rope.
down, obviously, as we go.
Okay, so then through each step, you're kind of passing the girl down. Rose is relatively good on her own. She's kind of...
Is the girl
And then-
panicking a little?
What's that?
Is the girl panicking?
No, she's a rock. She's better than you guys. No, I'm just kidding.
Not Rosa. I'm talking about the little girl.
Oh, yeah, she's freaking the fuck out.
Maybe we should,
You basically left her dad behind, right? Like, she's like kicking and screaming. Like, she doesn't know anything. No one talked to her about anything.
Yeah.
You just were like,
Rosa,
take
damn it. Okay. So then, Chris, you gotta come down too.
Yeah, I'll do it the same way. Obviously, lower myself down and hope Justin will kind of guide my feet, help
Yep.
me down.
Yep. And the sheets are tied to the banister, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and Emmanuel's at the top, still checking him. So then he starts coming down too.
Does
So you
anyone
guys,
notice us on their balcony? Was anyone on their balcony?
no, again, it's
No.
pretty late. There's not many people. There's like no one really out. So anyway, you guys are continually going down the zigzag, and eventually, Justin, you get to the lifeboat, and you pull off the tarpaulin, and it's relatively easy to assemble, or whatever. And there's like one of those hangy little yellow things that lets you kind of drop the ship into the water once it's
Okay.
positioned out over the water.
We're all on the lifeboat.
There's still a few climbing down, and Rosa goes and she makes a slip, but she's right by you, Chris. And if you reach in time, you could grab her.
Okay, I'll try.
So let's roll dexterity. We'll give you a 2 and a 1 negative. So we'll roll 3 die. Two pause,
Okay.
1 negative.
And I guess 1 fail.
Okay, so you go to grab Rosa, but she slips. And she goes tumbling down right smack into the lifeboat. And the little girl screams.
Hmm.
Shite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I go over to her to check and see if she's okay, but I hold her down.
Okay. So you go to look at her, and she's not breathing, or rather, she's not moving. She seems like she could be unconscious. With the wind on the sea, you can't really feel if she's breathing, and it's kind of tough to feel her pulse again with just the way things are going and the stress of the situation.
Okay, so I grab her by the wrist and I move her out of the way, and it's dark right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So nobody can see what I'm doing?
No.
All right. I'm holding onto one of the bars, one of the wires, and I get her close to the edge so that if I need to yank her off quickly, she's right there.
Okay. And at that moment, you hear a moan from her.
Okay. And
So drop her in the
I put my foot on her face. on her face, and I say, Rosa.
So your foot's on her face.
I'm holding her arm. My foot is on her face, so that she can't just like reach at me.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay. So everyone else is climbing down into the boat, and the little girl's now stepped into the boat and sees you kind of fucking with Rose. And she's like, ah! She's just screaming, ah, ah, ah!
I cover the girl's mouth.
Okay. So you're holding the girl's mouth, and
I've got my foot on Rosa's face.
Rose is moaning between your foot. Ooh.
Rosa.
And Emmanuel is like just fucking looking at you guys. He's like,
Emmanuel, get in the boat.
and he says, "Who's the real monster here?" And he says, "I'm not gonna come anywhere." No, he says, and he kind of helps push you guys off, but he's like, I gotta try to save these people. And he climbs back. He starts climbing back up.
Before we push out, I knock on the balcony that we're... No, I don't know.
No, we're not. We're on the boat now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so in your awkward position, Justin, are you still trying to lower the boat?
Well, I'm just waiting for a response from Rosa.
You're not getting anything other than a moan.
Still moaning? Is she like gnawing at my foot or anything?
I don't know. It's dark and you're wearing like a boot. You don't even know. You're like, I don't know what's going on. It's
How did the girl see us?
She just saw you with the fucking body, and she probably thought you were like making love to it.
Oh yeah, she doesn't know there's zombies around.
And she also doesn't know how making love is.
That's true. That's true.
That's how Daddy
if they pass, if they pass this new sex ed bill, she will.
Ooh.
Anyway.
Okay, so I'm still waiting. I say, well, she's not responding. What do you think, Chris?
There's nothing we can do for her on the boat. You might as well leave her on one of the balconies if you can.
No, she's already down here. I could drop her on the mezzanine, but I might as well just drop her over the edge.
All right.
Okay.
I don't think she survived that fall. And we can't have her turn in the boat.
Okay, so I wait a few minutes, wait for a few...
Can't wait this one out, Justin. You got to make a call, man. There's no waiting on this.
Okay, I just drop her.
You just drop her.
Yeah.
Okay. So you push her over the side,
Mm-hmm.
and she goes falling, and moaning all the way down, and just lands with a crack on the lowest level.
Okay, and are we on top of the ship, or are we in the boat?
You're in the boat.
Oh, okay. And
That's like leaning over the side of the ship.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, and then I let it off.
Okay, so you guys slowly lower. I don't know if it would be like a whoomp, but I'm assuming it'd be like a... And you guys slowly lower, and as you lower down, you just pass the level that Rosa fell to, and she just looks at you and goes, "Fuck you." As you lower down, and the girl
come out to eat her.
crying. Yeah, she's just crying. But Rosa was see it in her eyes before her neck just paralyzes her in spot.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, zombies start coming in on her, and you don't want to know what happens. Anyway, so you're lower down, and eventually you hit the water, and the girl's just catatonic, and she's like, and
but you survived.
And you guys are on the water. So you cut the cords, and as you sit in your boat, the ship fades off into
It's
this.
gonna be awesome if we end up having to eat each other like zombies.
I think it's going to be like Life
Sitting
of
in the
Pi.
middle. Yeah.
We're all going to turn on each other, and then there's going to be a tiger, and it's actually going to be Chris.
My anger. It's gonna be
Yeah.
a representation of my anger.
So you guys sit in the blue sea, waiting. 3 days later, a ship comes into view. The young girl, Jessica, if you asked, sees it
Really
first.
don't care about people.
Sees it first, and she says, "A ship." You immediately recognize it as some sort of police craft, like a
Coast Guard.
yeah, but I mean, we're in Mexico, whatever their equivalent would be.
Los Coast Guard.
Yeah, Los Coast Guardos. And it comes into view, and a wave of
Relief.
relief washes over you. And as it kind of comes into view, it's kind of coming right up next to you. It passes just slow enough so you can see the 5 zombies on board eating whatever was once left of the Coast Guard, and it passes you.
All right.
We'll just leave it there. Who knows what happens?
Very nice. I like that ending. That
Actually,
was
that ending with the Coast Guard thing was someone suggested that on Reddit. They're like, yo, you should end them at sea and have a Coast Guard just go and then have all the zombies. So I got to give credit to that one.
Oh, nice. That's great.
Yeah, I posted on Reddit about this idea, and basically I said, I want to do a zombie one-off on a cruise ship. What ideas? And I will give credit where it's due. Kay Begster gave me the idea. What did I end up using? With the power out.
Okay. I like that, yeah.
And, although I didn't use it as early as I wanted to. Oh, and the idea of the casino jackpot one, which I really liked.
Nice. And that's perfect, too, because Chris loves that game.
Yes, well,
Every time
game,
he's trying to show me,
It was like 8 years ago.
No, but the game specifically, I mean, he just said you should have them in the casino and they have to win a jackpot to draw the attention. And I was like, fuck, that game would be funny. But yeah, so that's that. And that's where we're at. So thank you all for watching our one-off zombie RPG this Wednesday. We did it this Wednesday because, again, Mike couldn't be with us. However, normally we will return to our regular scheduled program next Wednesday when we will continue with part 5 of our Dragon Age series, GM'd by our very lovely Justin James.
Lovely.
Very lovely.
That's what you're choosing. Okay.
So if you liked this and this was something that you guys would like to see again, like, subscribe, tweet, share the video. I would love to do more of these End of the World. Like I said, there's 4 other books of these, and I think they're really fun kind of one-off campaigns that we can always do. So thank you so much for watching. Please follow us on Twitter @InvictusStream. Like us on YouTube, or like our videos and things like that, like I said. And until then, we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Goodbye.